What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 4 Tai Chapter 91 The Person You Said Is Me, Advertisement. A moment later, at first glance, seeing that Jack's face has changed completely. His eyes were white, and he had completely lost consciousness. Thump! Immediately, Jack's huge body fell to the side. Around. The originally noisy and lively atmosphere became silent. Silence. The crew of the Beast's pirates who had been watching the battle with high spirits. His gaze was fixed on that seemingly thin young man. And swallowed involuntarily, his lips trembled, unable to speak. Sip's head was stunned. Kim Rummy was also stunned. Hold'em's eyes widened. What, the boss was killed? This unrealistic guess emerged in their minds. Many cadres of the Beast's pirates remained in their original state, motionless. The lively and noisy atmosphere has become silent at this moment. Everyone in the audience fell into a state of 24 sluggishness. Silence. Grunt. That. Who? Your boss seems to be dying. Aren't you going to avenge your boss or something? Mo Xiaobai did not attack them immediately, instead, he just looked at them directly. No. How dare we? The three of Hold'em shook their heads like breaking waves. Embarrassed face, this battle was very short, only a few minutes from beginning to end. But the process of this battle is deeply imprinted in the minds of the spectators. Let them have a deep memory, and they will not be able to forget the scene that happened today in a short time. Advertisement Mo Xiaobai used the space ability to restrain Jack, and then unilaterally stepped on Jack on the ground and rubbed it. From the beginning to the end, Jack didn't even have the strength to fight back. How strong is Mo Xiaobai? They regretted a little now, why did they want this credit in the first place, and ran over to trouble Mo Xiaobai. Give you a chance to live, now take the big elephant and jump into the sea. If you can survive, then you should die, but I want to remind you that Sea Kings are very active in the Windless Zone. While speaking, Mo Xiaobai waved his hand, the ground under the feet of the Beast's pirates surged instantly. The next moment, the ground under their feet suddenly rose. As if turning into a slide, directly dumping Jack and the others into the sea. My lord, I don't understand, why don't you just kill them? Seeing Jack, a group of people were thrown into the sea. Empress Hancock did not understand what Mo Xiaobai did. Swimming through a calm zone? Just kidding, is this possible? Wouldn't it be good to kill them directly, why bother? Haha, Hancock, although you can't swim through the calm zone. Hearing what Empress Hancock said, Mo Xiaobai glanced at Rayleigh beside him and said, Hancock, swimming can indeed pass through calm ground. Sensing Mo Xiaobai's gaze, the corners of Rayleigh's mouth twitched slightly, with a slightly embarrassed expression. In a windless zone, don't look at the calm sea, under the sea surface, there are countless sea kings. The reason why the Nine Snakes boat was able to pass through the windless zone was precisely because the swimming snakes that towed the boat had poison in their bodies, and the sea kings did not dare to approach them. It's really hard for me to think that there is such a person in the seafaring world who is not afraid of death. Do you think he was drunk that day, and his head was pinched by the door to do such a thing? Empress Hancock tilted her head while she spoke, looking like she was thinking. Uncle Rayleigh, do you think so too? After thinking for a while, Hankoku asked Rayleigh beside him. Hancock, the one you're talking about, drunk, with his head caught in the door, seems to be me. Rayleigh looked embarrassed, coughed twice and said, Ha. Pluton in Legendary, the feat of crossing the windless zone, was ridiculed. Advertisement seeing Rayleigh's appearance, Mobai laughed out loud. Brother Bai, stop mocking me, Uncle Rayleigh, you are blushing, so you can be shy too. Seeing that Rayleigh was a little embarrassed, Mo Xiaobai laughed again. Occasionally, it's fun too, Hawkeye, you're fast. At this time, Rayleigh deliberately changed the topic and said. Personal Power Rankings, number 14, Dracul Mahawk, Affiliated Forces, Divine Palace. Well, yes. I have to say that his swordsmanship is in the entire nautical world, and it is difficult for anyone to surpass him. Mo Xiaobai still agrees with Hawkeye's strength. Individual Combat Power List, 9th place. Fujitora, Yishao, Affiliated Force, Divine Palace Tianguo Factory. Fujitora, he doesn't like the main battle, and the ranking has not changed much, and he is still in the 9th position. It's no surprise. K-Lock Doll? This kid fell out of the rankings like this? At this time, they suddenly discovered that the name of K-Lock Doll was no longer on the surface of the bronze monument. This kid turned out to be defeated by 887 blows, night. A round of white moonlight hangs high above the sky. Exudes a layer of hazy white light, it echoes with the bronze monument. It's really surprising that K-Lock was defeated by someone. Hawkeye, sitting on the coffin boat, sailed slowly in the vast sea. Originally, he didn't pay too much attention to K-Lock Dar. But it's different now, they are all from the Divine Palace, and they all work for Mo Xiaobai. Moreover, Mo Xiaobai also customized a small goal for them. Let them all enter the top 20 seats in the Personal Combat Power Rankings. That's right, give them shared goals, not individuals. In other words, if even one person falls short, they fail the task. Brother Bai, isn't it a little too difficult for you to give them this task? Rayleigh, too, found that Lock Doll fell off the leaderboard. Chapter 92 Shichibukai, Pattern Advertisement, can you? I just let them all enter the top 20, isn't this something that can be done with one hand? Hearing this, Mo Xiaobai disagreed, they all have their own arrogance. No one looks down on anyone, I do this on purpose, just to let them realize that they're a team now. Mo Xiaobai looked at the bronze monument above the void and said, Holy Land Marijoy, Deprivation, Dracul Mahawk, Boa Hancock. Ji Lok Dal. The Shichibukai identity of several people. The bearded one of the 5 elders slapped the table angrily and said. Everyone present was silent, and none of them dared to speak. I really didn't expect that 3 of Shichibukai were from the Divine Palace. If they hadn't been exposed by the Nautical Gold List, our pediatrics would still be kept in the dark. At this time, the bald head of one of the 5 elders spoke. No matter what, things have already happened, and it will not help to pursue responsibility. The boys' first priority is to publicly deprive these traitors Shichibukai of their identity. Next, let me arrest them. If they dare to resist, then kill them directly. To the world government, those Shichibukai have lost their value to them. In their eyes, there is no difference with the common pirates. The next morning, nautical news. Repeal, Dracul Mahawk, Boa Hancock. K. Lok Dal. Etc. The news of 7 warlords of the sea's position has caused quite a stir in the entire navigation industry. Seriously, this time the world government's action is so big. Abolished 7 warlords of the sea at once. Didn't you all find out? The Shichibukai abolished by the world government, and the factions they belong to, all came from there. There, Tianfu Divine Kingdom. That's right, they're the same as Mo Xiaobai, the top of the gold list, all of them are from the heavenly kingdom of the Divine Palace. I said this time the world government is like taking the wrong medicine. If they all come from the Divine Palace, it's no wonder. Advertisement. Divine Palace beats the world government and wins the Nautical Gold List team battle ranking list. I think even if they don't make any moves, the world government will regard them as a thorn in their side and a thorn in their flesh. It's getting more and more interesting. I don't know if the Divine Palace can continue to lead this Nautical Gold List in the end. HMPH, Boa Hancock, this day finally made me wait. Lost the protection of the 7 warlords of the sea. It's time to settle our old accounts with you. A middle-aged man wearing a suit with light purple stripes and a purple hairstyle has a look of hostility in his eyes. One look at that sexy mohawk head, and you recognize his identity, Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral Flying Squirrel. Flying Squirrel for a few years ago, being robbed by the Empress, all the treasures on board are not to worry about. Many years have passed, but I still hate the Empress. He has always wanted to seek revenge from the Empress, but he has never acted because of the identity of Hancock's 7 warlords of the sea. Now he finally waited for this day. The Flying Squirrels can't wait. My lord, my concubine's status as 7 warlords of the sea has been stripped away. Look at the news in the nautical newsletter. Boa Hancock's face was a bit ugly. How could the world government allow the 7 warlords of the sea, our Divine Palace people? It's all to be expected. It's just a Shichibukai title, so what does it matter? Mo Xiaobai, looking at Hancock's worried look, said. Lost, the position of 7 warlords of the sea, my country, maybe. Boa Hancock was worried that after losing the asylum of the world government, Marine would suddenly attack their country. Ha ha ha, Hancock, it's been too long, the world government seems to have forgotten. The reason why you were appointed 7 warlords of the sea is because of your strength. Mo Xiaobai said to Empress Hancock with a smile. What he said is not wrong. Mo Xiaobai has not given Hancock much help over the years. Being Shichibukai is purely because they are already very strong. The world government made this appointment because of their influence. K. Lok Dal is sitting on the shore alone, looking a little embarrassed at the moment. Advertisement just 2 days ago, when the rewards were distributed, he was suddenly challenged by others. In fact, that was not a challenge at all, but a gang fight. Who is that fat man with the watermelon head in the red belly band? And what about the bunch of tyrants and bears? When seeing them appear, Lok Dal's head was empty at this time, and he was stunned for a while. The tyrant Shang, seeing K. Lok Dar appear, opened his huge mouth, and the laser beam swept towards him in a mess. Zhang Taowen, armament hockey is even more powerful, directly teach him how to be a man. Personal combat power ranking, number 33, Zhang Taowen, affiliation, Marine Headquarters. At this time, K. Lok Dar also looked at the bronze monument, which originally belonged to his ranking. World government bastards, haven't we done less for them before? Now you are attacking me mercilessly. See, the person who challenged him turned out to be the Marine Headquarters. K. Lok Dal couldn't help cursing angrily. However, at this moment, a newspaper flew down from the sky. Lok Dal took the newspaper. Seeing the headlines made his heart tremble. I am ashamed that Hawkeye and Hancock, including myself, were all removed from the post of Shichibukai. Seeing this news, K. Lok Dal was very angry. Damn it. Lok Darna cursed fiercely. There was a bandage wrapped around his chest, and with a slight force, Qian Li's sharp pain came. It looked like he was seriously injured. D world government. You wait for me. When I recover from my injury, you must erase all of you who are on the list from the Voyage Gold List, loose. K. Lok Dal, smoking a cigar, looking wolf is a murderer. Although, he is not a good person, even before Mo Xiaobai took him in, he could be called a jerk. However, he never gave up on his loyal subordinates who worked for him. It can be seen from the current situation of Bar Lock Studio and others. Although they can't be said to be very rich and powerful now, at least they are mixed officials and half-jobs in Alabasta. Life can be considered stable. Chapter 93 The Alligator in the Trap. Advertisement therefore, K-Lock Doll also sneers at those who abandon their companions for the sake of profit. Thief ha 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 ha, you won't have that chance. K-Lock Doll. At this moment, a cold voice behind K-Lock Doll entered his ears. Following the sound, I saw Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach, and a group of Blackbeard Pirates crew members walking towards K-Lock. Marshall D. Teach? What do you mean? Seeing Blackbeard for the first time, Clock Doll felt a little surprise. Immediately, he also questioned him. Thief ha ha ha. Clockadar, I am not dissatisfied with you. The world government has issued a reward order for your arrest. Blackbeard, bearing a row of rotten teeth, looked straight at him and said. Marshall D. Teach, you are so close to Barry, or I am just a soft persimmon in your eyes, you can pinch it as you want. Hearing this, K-Lock Doll's expression instantly became fierce. He Sand Crocodile, when did he become a small character that anyone can bully? Sand Crocodile. Thief ha 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 ha, leaving the Sand Crocodile in the desert, we really don't think we can grow stronger. Blackbeard looked stern, he didn't take Lock Doll seriously. Clock Dar, I might as well tell you, if only 487 is for your meager bounty, we really wouldn't take this risk. However, there is no way for the world government to announce your reward order while also announcing an attractive condition. That is, as long as whoever captures you, whether dead or alive, he can take over your position and become one of the new 7 warlords of the sea. Clock Dar, I don't know if you can die in peace now. Facing the badly injured Lock Doll, Blackbeard had no fear that he would run away from him. Marshall D. Teach, you mean to say, not only you, but countless pirates joined hands with the world government for the position of 7 warlords of the sea? K-Lock Doll, although he is a little annoyed now, he is trying his best to control his emotions. He must delay more time for himself, facing the entire Blackbeard pirate group. No matter how he breaks out, the combat power is there. Once a battle occurs, the possibility of his survival is almost zero. Now, he can only pin his hopes on his companions. Advertisement, and what he can do now is to delay more time for himself. Clockadar, there's no way to blame it but to blame you for joining some goddamn divine palace. That, CECJ, damn Mo Xiaobai, if it wasn't for him, my planned car would have been a success. At this moment, Blackbeard hated Mo Xiaobai to the core. The shock fruit that was about to be obtained was abruptly let Mo Xiaobai snatch it from his eyes. He still wants the ability to live shock fruit now, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. Snort, ha 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 ha, Blackbeard, I advise you not to put your mind on the Lord, his methods are beyond your tolerance. K-Lock Doll, seeing that Blackbeard is so hostile to Mo Xiaobai, so he went along with the flow and praised Mo Xiaobai. Although, this approach may make Blackbeard furious in an instant, but Clock Doll knows. For a person who can endure for 20 years for his purpose, how could this common aggressive method be effective for him? It would just make him suspicious for a long time, which is exactly what K-Lock Doll wanted. Captain, why bother talking nonsense to him, just cut him off. At this time, Shiryu of Rain came out and said. Shiryu of Rain is bloodthirsty and bloodthirsty. Facing an opponent of K-Lock Doll's level, he also advocates killing. What kind of negotiation is impossible for him to happen? The next moment, the figure of Shiryu of the Treasure was the minister who disappeared from K-Lock's vision. This ability is no stranger to Lock Doll. As early as when he was eyeing the war, when the Blackbeard pirates faced Whitebeard, he had seen Shiryu of Rain. This has to mention Blackbeard's ambitions. Gecko Moria, after being defeated by Straw Hat Crew, Gecko Moria and Absalom also fled. However, once a person is in a panic, bad luck is not far away. Absalom and Gecko Moria got separated, but his tragic fate also began. On his way to escape, he unexpectedly meets Blackbeard. Absalom's transparent fruit ability, under the great darkness cover of Blackbeard's dark cave. There is nothing to hide. The structure, of course, is no suspense. Absalom is sure to lose, but what everyone didn't expect was that Blackbeard actually pulled out the transparent fruit from Absalom's corpse. This is a little shocking. I didn't expect Blackbeard to have such a heaven-defying skill. It's no wonder that Blackbeard has been peeking at Whitebeard's shock fruit and Mo Xiaobai's elemental and space fruits. At the moment when Shiryu of Rain announced to join their Blackbeard pirates. Advertisement Blackbeard gave him the transparent fruit. Seeing Shiryu of Rain disappear from his field of vision, K-Lock Doll's figure became a little dignified. Ding! The next moment, there was a crisp metal collision sound. I saw K-Lock Dar. The surface of the golden hook on his left hand has been wrapped around armament hockey. Facing Shiryu of Rain, who has been completely transparent. The naked eye has been unable to capture him at all. Only observation hockey's perception can capture his movements. However, before meeting Mo Xiaobai, K-Lockadar relied on his fruit ability guide to fight. Exposure to hockey was short. Although, he has also mastered the use of armed color and observation hockey, but he has only mastered it initially. Puff. A splash of blood. Shiryu of Rain, in the stealth state cut across K-Lock's right arm with a knife. K-Lock Doll's figure quickly retreated a few meters behind him. Clutching his injured arm, he looked around vigilantly. Ha ha ha, Clock Dar, you are in such a mess now. Is this still the High Shichibukai? Seeing this scene, the Blackbeard pirates even made a mockery of Lock Dar. They seem to have seen the result of this battle. Whoosh, 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 puff, another spray of blood mist. Shiryu of the Transparent Rain moves at high speed around the K-Lock Dar. From time to time, he waved his knife and looked at him. However, he didn't hurt its vitals, but just cut through Clocdol's body one after another. Is it too late? Shiryu of Rain is enjoying the thrill of killing. Chapter 94 in this case, cut him, advertisement, ha ha ha. Clockadar, let you feel the fear of death. Shiryu of Ron, laughing wildly. Bloodthirsty, he felt even more excited when he felt the blood dripping from K-Lock's body. Is it possible to raise the fear of death in him? Its tongue dry, K-Lock dull, his eyes concentrating and spit out lightly. Erosion reincarnation. While speaking, K-Lock dull raised his right hand and slapped it fiercely on the ground. In the next instant, the water in this land was quickly sucked dry by him at a speed visible to the naked eye. And gradually spread to the surrounding, after a while. The ground in this area seems to be dead, turning into a dry and cracked wasteland. Lock dull, the sand around him sank quickly. This made it impossible for Shiryu of the Rain to attack Clockadar at close range. Thief ha ha ha, sand fruit really has the terrifying power that even rocks can be pulverized into sand. I love it so much, Clockdar, I am sending you an invitation now, would you like to join our Blackbeard pirates? Blackbeard Doc Lock dull played the heart of solicitation. At the same time, the figure of Shiryu of the Rain appeared beside Blackbeard. Quietly looking at Clockdar not far away, quietly waiting for his answer. Ha ha ha, Blackbeard, you think too highly of yourself. Let me choose to surrender to you, do you think you have the qualifications? Hearing that Blackbeard wanted to recruit himself, Clockdal glanced at Blackbeard, saying that he was not qualified enough. Toast, don't eat fine wine, Clockdal, then don't blame me. I have no choice but to kill you first, and take some interest for Mo Xiaobai's bad deeds. Kill him, Blackbeard, with a calm face, said in a cold tone. Hearing this, the corner of Shiryu's mouth raised a sinister smile. It's really boring. It seemed like I would have to play for a while, but the captain has already spoken, so there is nothing I can do about it. As the rain fell, Shiryu of the Ron pulled out the thunderstorm from his waist again and walked slowly towards Clockadar. Goodbye, Sand Crocodile. The next moment, Shiryu of the Rain slashed at Clockadar fiercely. Advertisement, ding. The crisp sound of metal colliding. However, in the next second something that surprised everyone present happened. The blood donation spewing scene did not happen. I saw a long black knife, blocking Clockdal's body. Dracul Mahawk. Seeing the appearance of Hawkeye, Blackbeard exclaimed. Old Shaw. You are really in a mess now, Hawkeye. Ignoring Blackbeard, asked Clockadar instead. Snort. Don't worry, I won't die yet. Clockdal snorted and stopped talking. A dead duck has a tough mouth, and this surviving crocodile has such a tough mouth. While speaking, Hawkeye took out a glass bottle containing green liquid and threw it at him. This is the ultimate healing potion. Clockdal's potion has long been exhausted by him. Otherwise, he would not have fallen into such a situation. Blackbeard, Marshal D. Teach, you dare to touch people from the kingdom of God. After all this is done, Hawkeye will point his sword at the Blackbeard pirates. Thief ha 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 ha, Dracul Mahawk, have you been a bit of an idiot for being in Shichibukai's position all these years? Do you think you are still 7 warlords of the sea? Blackbeard said with a wide grin. All right, immediately, Hawkeye stopped talking. With his left foot back slightly, he held Haidao Yi tightly in his hands, and cut through the air without the slightest hesitation. A slash slashed towards the position where Blackbeard and the others were. A green sword light, in front of Hawkeye, formed a semicircular arc and rushed forward extremely swiftly. It's as if even the air has been torn apart. The sharp and dazzling sword glow instantly arrived at the location where the Blackbeard pirates were. The speed of Hawkeye's slash is really too fast. Everyone in the Blackbeard pirates didn't realize it, but they saw the attack approaching. Next second. Boom! A loud bang resounded through the sky. Dazzling light instantly filled the eyes of everyone present. Many people present instinctively covered their eyes with their hands. The light gradually weakened, and only the evil government, Abaro Pizarro and Shiryu of Rain, were seen. Advertisement. The two of them worked together to lower Hawkeye's slash. Thief ha 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 ha, Hawkeye, do you think we have nothing to do with you because you are the #1 swordsman in the world? Asking for flowers. Seeing Shiryu and Abalo Pizarro fend off Hawkeye's attack, Blackbeard laughed maniacally. Why ha 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 ha, Clockdale, now only half-life is left. Hawkeye, are you going to trade 1 for 9? Fighting champion, Giza's Badgers sneered even more when he saw that his side had the upper hand. Hawkeye has never been good at expressing himself, and he really didn't know how to answer when he was teased by them. Immediately, Hawkeye turned his head to look at Clockdal, and cast him a look of help. Old Shaw, your mouth is poisonous. I can only rely on you to win the battle of words. Hawkeye, expressing helplessness, verbal arguments are not something he is good at. Hawkeye, when did you become so humorous? 000, look at my current state, do I still have the heart to spit at them? Clockdal looked helpless. This bottle of healing potion had recovered most of his trauma. However, the physical strength consumed by this is very internally traumatic, but it still takes some time to recover. Well, if this is the case, we have to cut them down. At the end of the sentence, Hawkeye stepped forward, facing the direction of the Blackbeard pirates, and knifed again. Every time Hawkeye slashes, a heart-pounding green slash will pour out violently from the black knife in his hand. Yee. Boom. 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 Facing such terrifying and numerous slashes, Shiryu's eyes dropped. In an instant, his complexion became serious. Facing the oncoming slash at this moment, he has no confidence in being able to take it down. Thief, ha 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 ha. Get out of the way, let's watch my performance next. Just when Shiryu in the rain was still hesitating whether to resist or avoid, Blackbeard's voice came from behind him, Dark Realm. In the next moment, the land where they were all rose up for a while. Black Smoke. Chapter 95 The World's Strongest Swordsman. Advertisement in an instant, a scene that surprised even Hawkeye happened. In the meantime, the several slashes Hawkeye swung were swallowed up by this indescribable black smoke. Thief, ha 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 ha, Dracula Mahawk, didn't think so. The ability of my dark fruit is not as simple as you imagine. I can not only swallow entities, I can also swallow the slash that saves you. While speaking, a puff of black smoke rose suddenly behind him. Liberated, Blackbeard grimaced. You Luo, the few slashes originally cut out by the eagle eye came out violently from the black smoke. However, the direction it is flying to now is where Hawkeye is. What? It's so possible. K-Lock, 627, Doll exclaimed. He didn't expect that Blackbeard would be able to swallow Hawkeye's slash and then cast it again. Seeing this scene, Hawkeye felt a little uneasy, Blackbeard, to have such an ability. If this is the case, then he can no longer perform slashing attacks, which will cause them a very passive situation. Boom. 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 Hawkeye didn't resist his slash, but chose to dodge. However, at this moment Shiryu of the Rain had already drawn his sword, and his speed was very fast. In the blink of an eye, the two had collided together. There was a crisp collision sound, and a shockwave caused by the impact. Then it swept over, and with the two of them as the center, huge cracks appeared on the ground under their feet, and they collapsed. Both of them are great swordmasters, and they know how terrifying the sword speed of a great swordmaster is, so the two of them used 5 swords when they made a move. The collision of one blow caused a strong wind. Even though they are so far apart, I can still feel the power of the wind and waves. Advertisement, but that was just the beginning. Next, the speed at which the two swung their knives became faster and faster, and their strength became more and more terrifying. Ding. 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 This frequency of attacks made it impossible for ordinary people to see their movements clearly. It is even more impossible to know how many knives they each swung in the brief collision just now. Whoosh. Whoosh. The speed of the two people's feet is getting faster and faster, and the afterimages of the two people colliding with each other are reflected in the eyes of everyone present. Is this the collision between great swordsmen? So strong? At this speed, crisp collision sounds can be heard endlessly, and one can tell how fast that sound is by listening to the sound. Like thunder. The next moment, the energy of green and white appeared on Hawkeye and Shiryu of the Rain respectively. This is a great swordsman. The sword energy is condensed, like the sword energy is released. What a terrifying sword energy it was, emerging from the two of them, rising upwards like a beam of light soaring into the sky, and pouring out in all directions like a flood. At the same time, one after another green or gray-white slashes rushed out. Countless slashes poured out in all directions as if there was no attack direction at all. Some split the sea, some go straight to the sky, and some fly to the sky. The most obvious is that the originally calm sea. At this moment, they are shaking violently, and some pirate ships docked at the edge of the voyage will be affected by the battle between the two of them. Slashed to pieces. Because of the battle between Hawkeye and Ra and Shiryu, a terrible storm began to blow. This storm began to gather clouds, changing the originally clear sky. Time passed very quickly. Even in the past tens of minutes, the contest between great swordsmen still hadn't come to an end. However, the two people in the battle didn't intend to end the battle, but they became more and more excited as they fought. The contest between great swordsmen and great swordsmen can be said to be the collision of the pinnacle of swordsmanship. Hawkeye has always wanted to find someone who can defeat him. Advertisement in Yuji. Shiryu is a bloodthirsty guy, and he is immersed in this hardy battle. The two of them don't care at all what happened to the small island where they're at the moment. After tens of minutes of their devastation, the original landform of this small island has undergone earth-shaking changes. There are bottomless chasms, and almost all the surrounding flowers and trees have been destroyed. The small island with dense forests just tens of minutes ago has almost become a plain where the end can be seen at a glance. Neither Shiryu of the Rain nor Hawkeye dared to relax. For Hawkeye, it was unfair that he couldn't use his strongest slash. However, what is fair in this world? Now it is equivalent to saying that Hawkeye is fighting against the entire Blackbeard pirate group alone. Not only do you have to fight Renji, Shiryu head-on, but you also have to beware of the Blackbeard pirates, and other members of the Blackbeard pirates sniping at him. Hawkeye's perception was indeed correct, as soon as the distance between him and Ra and Shiryu opened. Boom. Boom. A few gunshots resounded over the land. Blackbeard pirates, Sniper, Itokoshi, Van Orca, fired several shots at Hawkeye with lightning speed. Hawkeye slightly carved sideways, Haidao Yo raised his hand to block it, and the bullet hit Haidao Yo's blade. A little spark splashed. Seeing this, Hawkeye frowned and thought to himself. It can't be delayed any longer, this Blackbeard pirate sniper can wrap hockey around the bullets he shoots. If 5.0 gets hit by this shot, it's no joke. Old Shaw, how are you? Can you move? Hawkeye, who took several shots from Van Oka again, came to K-Lock Doll and asked. If you still don't respond, it is estimated that both of us may have to explain here. This Blackbeard pirate group is very strong, and I can feel that the few people behind Blackbeard who didn't make a move are also very dangerous. This time, the Blackbeard pirates made him feel the danger. Moreover, according to the fighting power they displayed, Hawkeye judged that he and Kay Lockyer's fighting power would not be their opponents. Chapter 96. Just one knife. Advertisement. Hawkeye, don't tell me that if we planted here. It was also the first time that Kay Lockdoll saw such a dignified look in Hawkeye. Hawkeye didn't speak, and stared at the Blackbeard group ahead with a solemn expression. Lie down, Eagle Eye is still pretending to be cool at this time. I'll support them, you go first. While speaking, Kay Lockdoll walked in front of Hawkeye. This time Hawkeye was in danger because of him. Even if he didn't want to die anymore, it was impossible for Hawkeye to die for him. He still has this awareness. Old Shaw, you should stop talking nonsense. Do you think their target is only you? Hawkeye turned his head and glanced at Kay Lockdar. He never thought that such words would come out of Kay Lockdar. Thief, ha 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 ha, worthy of Dracula Mahawk, smart. How can a Kelkadar satisfy me, but with you, two former 7 warlords of the sea, that's enough. Just send the heads of both of you to the world government. In exchange for 2 Shichibukai spots, my Blackbeard pirates will be the world's first double Shichibukai pirates. Blackbeard spread his hands and laughed maniacally. Darkness comes. The next moment, Blackbeard let out a low cry. Wisps of black smoke raged from Blackbeard's body. For a moment, black smoke had gathered above Blackbeard's head, continuously spread towards the surroundings. Looking at the battle, the position where they are about to be is all shrouded in darkness. Desert Sunflower. At this moment, Kay Lockdoll cannot sit still. He instantly turned the ground under their feet into yellow sand. Immediately afterwards, he controlled the fast lower limit of Wangsha, trying to bury Blackbeard and his gang alive. Why ha 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 home, Captain, we are going to be buried alive. Badgers, grinning wildly, wasn't even worried about the situation. Walk. Immediately, Kay Lockdoll. The next moment the whole person becomes elemental. The yellow sand pulls Hawkeye, and flies towards the distant port quickly. Lockdoll, it never occurred to him that the Desert Sunflower could kill the Blackbeard gang. All he needed was a little delay. Enough time for them to escape. Advertisement boom. 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 Not long after the 2 of Clockadar flew out, there was a burst of gunfire behind them. This time, it wasn't just Itokoshi Van Oka who pulled the trigger. Abaro Pizarro, who has never made a shot, also made a shot. The 3-barreled pistol fired several times at Lockdoll. Kay Lockdoll, his eyes narrowed slightly, and he hummed softly. Obviously, the attacks of Blackbeard's gang effectively landed on Kay Lockadar. But he didn't stop there. If he stopped now, let alone him, even if he was only slightly injured, it would be very difficult for Hawkeye to get out of his body. A few minutes later, there was only a little distance left from the port, and even the seriousness on K-Lock's face dissipated a lot. However, the hope he had just ignited was shattered again. At the coast, marine warships were lined up neatly. On the warships, huge gun barrels were aimed at them. What? Seeing this scene, a calm Eagle Eye was a little restless. These battles don't seem to appear randomly at all. Instead, they had already prepared an ambush and waited for them to appear. Hawkeye, maybe I really did harm to you this time. As soon as the voice fell, Kay Lockdoll elementalized and disappeared, and the whole person fell towards the bottom. Boom. Old Shaw, Hawkeye's brows were tightly frowned, and a solemn look flashed in his eyes. Kay Lockdoll looks badly injured. See where you can go. With a big axe on his back, Warjump appeared in their field of vision. This is a little unreasonable. Why did you Marine chase after us just after the world government's withdrawal order was issued? War Peachball. At this moment, Hawkeye also regained his composure. Senmomaru, a subordinate of Kizaru Paluzolino, the captain of the Naval Headquarters Science Unit. As the captain of the Special Forces, and his peculiar hairstyle, Hawkeye also recognized him immediately. HMPH, deprived of the position of Shichibukai, you are all big pirates who do all kinds of evil, so I won't tell you why. It is impossible for you to run away. The highest level of the world government has specially issued an order to arrest your name. It seems that one of the 5 elders of the world government gave this order directly. Don't ask why you know, because I heard the old man say so. Advertisement. Hearing what he said, Hawkeye shook his head helplessly, saying that he would not tell them. It seems that he has fought everything out of his mouth. Cough. Wow. It hurts. Kay Lockdoll, Bizon Momomaru's nonsense was also amused, affecting the wound on his body. At this moment, more than a dozen peace envoys suddenly appeared in the field of vision of the 2 Hawkeyes. Damn pirates, catch them before they're done. The next moment, each of the peace envoys opened their mouths, and golden laser beams shone in their mouths. Hawkeye. Go away. The power of this laser beam is almost the same as that of Ape Paluzolino. Seeing this strange tyrant bear appearing again, Hidar hurriedly reminded Hawkeye. It was said that Hawkeye didn't want to run away. Instead, he slowly pulled out the underworld yi behind him. Immediately afterwards, he took a step back, charged up his strength, and slashed towards the position of the messenger of peace. The corner of the mouth moved slightly. Black knife is a yoi. Boom. Cut it off. Moment. A ray of green sword light, in front of Hawkeye, formed a fan-shaped slash in a semicircular arc. The sharp and dazzling sword glow seemed to tear apart the air. Black Knife Izua's speed is too fast. Those peace envoys had no time to react when B's sword flashed across his neck. Boom. 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 The sound of machine explosions sounded. Before the messenger of peace released the first laser beam, he was beheaded by Hawkeye. Seeing this scene, Zon Taowen's throat was so dry that he couldn't speak. They were simply stunned. One knife, just one knife. With such a large number of peace envoys, they were all wiped out with just one blow. What a terrifying power this is. Chapter 97, The Power of the Strongest Swordsman. Advertisement Green's huge slashing light did not dissipate after passing over the neck of the peace messenger. Zanmang skimmed across the surface of the sea, setting off huge waves that rolled and spread, rippling wave after wave. The Marine soldiers watching the battle were stunned. The audience is in an uproar. Thousands of Marine soldiers gathered around, all staring at the picture in front of them dumbfounded. An expression of horror and horror could not be concealed. Pairs of eyes, fixed on the underworld Yi in Hawkeye's hand. Gulu, sure enough, he is the strongest swordsman in the world. Is this the strength of 7 warlords of the sea? This is too pervert. One knife can instantly kill so many peace envoys. It's too strong. What's the use of Tondulikas who come the most? Facing such a man, our blind attack will only increase casualties. Many Marine soldiers present felt fear in their hearts. Seeing this scene, Zon Taowen's expression froze for a moment. Next second, he tightly held the big axe in his hand and swiftly attacked Hawkeye. At this time, the color of the peach ball will be touched accordingly. A layer of black armor wrapped around the giant axe in his hand. Without hesitation, slashed fiercely at Hawkeye. Seeing this, Hawkeye slightly raised his hand and lifted the black knife, Yi, and was easily attacked by Zon Taowen. There was a crisp and pleasant collision sound, spreading in all directions. Snort. Tomahawk combo. Seeing that the blow should not be blocked, Zon Taowen immediately became serious in the interview, and then gave a low drink. Boom. 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 Don't look at Zon Taowen, he is obese, but his speed is indeed abnormally fast. And Hawkeye, gripping the black knife, Yi, rushed towards Zon Momomaru. On the other side, Zon Taowen was not to be outdone. I have to say that the strength of Zon Taowen is not bad, and it's not at a disadvantage to have so many head-to-head encounters with Hawkeye. Although, Hawkeye didn't use his full strength, the speed of the two is very fast. Advertisement only a few seconds passed, and the two had collided countless times. How long will this battle last? Horrible. Those Marines who followed Zontomaru, soldiers, at this moment, besides being shocked, their hearts are still shocked. At this moment they suddenly realized that they were so small. Under this level of fighting, they did nothing at all. I don't know when this battle will be decided. They only care about who wins and who loses now, because this will directly affect the next development of the situation. It's just that they don't know that this battle is coming to an end. That's Zon Taomaru, who is regarded as the god of war in their hearts. At this time, there is already a faint posture of being at a disadvantage. As the time passed by every minute and every second, Zon Taowen already showed a hint of exhaustion. Horrible. How strong Hawkeye is, I have already tried my best without reservation. He didn't even show a trace of fatigue. Zon Taowen stood on the spot panting and looked at Hawkeye. Night hyphenation point arc light. At this time, Hawkeye clasped the underworld Yi tightly with both hands, and gave a low shout. Slashed at Zon Taowen suddenly, then a green half-moon slash like tearing space blasted towards Zon Tao. On this green half-moon slash, it seemed to carry a galaxy of stars. Zon Taowen frowned, and said in a low voice, "Walk alone with nothing to lose." I saw that he gave up the big axe in his hand, spread out his palm, and directly evolved Haki into a substantial attack power outside the body. Striking and attacking from the air, the power of Zon Taowen's move is much stronger than that of armed color winding and hardening. It is a very high-level armament Haki, which can only be achieved by people with very strong cultivation bases. Boom! Two different forces collided together and made a sultry muffled sound. However, Zon Taowen's attack could not be resisted directly, and Hawkeye's slash continued to advance. However, under the effect of resistance, Green's half-moon slash also deviated from its original attack location. Although, Zon Taomaru's hands did not directly touch the chop. But also feeling the endless destructive power from above, Zon Taowen's hands were slightly numb. So strong, is he still hiding his strength? I have no reservations. But at this time, Zon Taowen felt a little more heavy in his heart. A sense of ominous premonition welled up in his heart. He felt that it would not be too long before he was defeated. That's right, Zon Taowen has already sensed that the one who fails must be himself. At this time, Hawkeye was holding the black knife Yi tightly with both hands, and the palpitating green light surged on the knife body. Advertisement, Zon Taowen, if you can take my blow, then you will win. Hawkeye knew that there was no point in continuing this battle. Yi Wu, followed Hawkeye's voice, and a slash that was many times stronger than before quickly struck Zon Taowen. How can justice bow to evil? It is absolutely impossible for a real man to let himself bear the shame of escaping. Facing and slashing head-on, Zon Taowen's whole body was wrapped in armament Haki, and he held the giant axe tightly in both hands, and directly met him. Boom! Green's light was so dazzling that Marine, who was watching the game, instinctively closed his eyes. Most of the Marine soldiers present felt as if they were about to suffocate. The heartbeat also accelerated, and inexplicable tension was born. It seems that this time, it is a move that decides the outcome. Zhang Taowen's figure has been completely swallowed up by Green Zanmang. Is this the end, Master Zhang Taomaru? Have you blocked it? Gulu. Countless people swallowed their saliva several times. This is what they are most concerned about. The light dissipated, and Zhang Ji stood there motionless. Taking a closer look at his body, there is faint traces of white smoke rising. Master Zhang Momomaru, block it, just when Marine was about to cheer. Thump. Zhang Taowen fell to the ground on one knee without any warning. Strictly speaking, Zhang Taowen was indeed caught by Hawkeye's attack. However, he relied on his strong physique and impressive armament Haki to resist. If it were someone else, it would probably have already been split in half. Compared with Zhang Taowen, he has no obvious trauma, but the power of this blow, Wang Hao, is too powerful. When he resisted all the power, he also lost his combat history. Obviously, Zhang Taomaru lost this battle, and Hawkeye declared the victory of this battle in the purest way. Hawkeye, you win. Thank you very much for defeating me in a manly way. This match made me very happy. Let's go, Winter. But next time, when I meet you again, I will definitely not let you go. Zhang Taowen knew very well that they no longer had the ability to stop the Hawkeyes. If you insist on doing this, it will only increase unwarranted casualties. He could feel that he was merciful in Hawkeye's last blow. The other party didn't think about taking their lives at all, they just wanted to leave. If you still insist on going your own way, then it's a bit too unreasonable. Chapter 98 The Hunt Begins. Advertisement. Hawkeye, why didn't you just kill that Marine? He was the one who sneaked up on me and hurt me. After leaving, K-Lock Darl asked Hawkeye, in order to show mercy to Momomaru. Sen Momomaru is Admiral Kizaru's subordinate. Didn't you hear him call Kizaru uncle? The relationship between the two is absolutely extraordinary. If you don't want to be hunted down by a Marine Admiral all the time, I advise you not to do that for the time being. At least wait, the final 5-day countdown is over. Hawkeye glanced at K-Lockadar and said, let me also remind you that you are not on the leaderboard right now. If you want to enter the list again, you must first defeat someone who is ranked between the 90th and 100th. You don't have much time. I can't complete the goals that the Lord has set for us, and I don't have the face to go back to see him. Immediately afterwards, Hawkeye continued. He regards Mo Xiaobai as his master, and every word he says goes deep into his bones. This little thing can be done well, and when he stands on the top of the world in the future, what face will I have to stand by his side? When did you become so verbose? Lock Dahl glanced at Hawkeye angrily. Although, he doesn't like to listen to Hawkeye's nagging. However, his heart is exactly the same as his thoughts. Hearing this, Hawkeye didn't continue to answer his words, and the coffin boat sailed quickly towards a small island ahead. Just now, the Voyage Gold list faced the small island, and lowered the gold beams of the listies. This shows that there is a person on the list who is on this small island at the moment. Just don't know how he ranks. After K-Lock Dahl fell off the list, his options are getting smaller and smaller. It's just limited to the local area, that is, between the first and 100 names. Even if the person on the other ranking list succeeds in the challenge, he will not occupy that person's ranking. In the distance, Hawkeye's breakout time has passed a day. Naval Headquarters, Office of the Marshal, Billy. Advertisement, Billy. At this moment, no one at the scene spoke a word, and they all quietly led Marshal Sengoku to issue new orders. However, from the change of expression on Sengoku's face, they already guessed that there was bad news coming from the phone bug. At this moment, a piece of heavy news exploded at this moment. On an unknown island in the New World, Shichibukai, K-Lock, and Eagle Eye, Mahawk successfully escaped from the net set by Marine. After hearing this news, everyone who was originally calm, their eyes widened and their faces showed shock. Hunting, Kizaru Admiral led the team directly to carry out what K-Lockadar is doing. So, the strength of Hawkeye and Sand Crocodile has surpassed that of Kizaru Admiral? No, according to intelligence, Kizaru Admiral did not personally participate in the roundup of K-Lockadar. It was his subordinate Senmomaru who led the pacifist troops to carry it out. No, we are also very aware of Senmomaru's combat strength, and he can definitely reach the Vice Admiral level and lead the pacifist troops. This can make K-Lockadar escape. It can only show that we really underestimated their combat effectiveness. A series of analyses shocked the hearts of the top Marines present. Even though they have seen countless storms and waves, but at this moment, they can't hide the shock in their hearts. The pacifist army is the strongest combat weapon for Marines newborn. Its combat effectiveness is obvious to all. Zhang Taomaru led this army, and also wiped out hundreds of millions of Bailey bounty pirates. Unexpectedly, under such a heavy siege, they still escaped safely. Little did they know that they were even surrounded by the Blackbeard pirates on the way. Otherwise, Marines' casualties would be too heavy for them to bear. Lock Dahl doesn't think about it the way Hawkeye does. If he makes a move, he will definitely take away countless lives. At the same time, Isle Coast, the sea is calm, with occasional breezes and waves rippling. A strange pirate ship slowly rises from the horizon and slowly sails into the coast. Hawkeye had successfully landed on the small island by driving the coffin boat. Asking for flowers. The moment they set foot on the land of the island, the bronze monument instantly shot a beam of gold light at each of the list seekers. Advertisement. Now the Clock Doll can find the listers on the isle. Then this unknown person on the list also discovered the beam of the Eagle Eye. That is to say, they were also aware of their arrival. Lock Dahl keeps saying no rush, however, his actions have betrayed him. The first moment he set foot on the island, he rushed towards the rising position of the yellow beam of light in a hurry. This is a man wearing sunglasses, wearing a sweater, with snow-white hair, and 2 black horns growing strangely on top of his head. If there are pirates with a lot of experience, see 2 black horns on top of his head. Definitely recognize it. This is swallow the characteristics that appear in artificial demon fruit power. That is to say, the man in the sunglasses is, in fact, a man-made demon fruit power. When someone came, he didn't seem to be in the slightest panic, as if he was still looking forward to someone's arrival. This person is Beast's Pirates, Jack's subordinate Sip's head. He will be surprised if Mo Xiaobai is here. Is the life of the Beast's Pirates members so big? As a devil fruit with this ability, no matter how you fall into the sea, you won't die. Can you give the sea some basic respect? I didn't expect that there are people who are not afraid of death. Seeing a figure quickly appearing in front of his eyes, Sip's head said with a sneer. Beast's Pirates? When Lock Dahl saw Sip's head's belt, he immediately recognized the faction he belonged to. But, so what? Clock Dar is a man who dares to shoot even Whitebeard. Will he be afraid of a small pirate of the Beast's Pirates? I don't know who is unlucky. Unfortunately, Sip's head was ranked at number 94 at this time. In other words, he became the target of the Clock Dahl hunt. Chapter 99 Locking the Prey. Advertisement. Lock Dahl swept across the surface of the bronze monument, and finally settled at the 94th place, and the name of Sip's head appeared. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect that God is also on my side. Lock Dahl couldn't be more excited to find his prey. Without wasting a moment, the challenge to Sip's head was launched. The challenge book instantly appeared in the middle of the two of them. I don't know who gave you the courage to dare to challenge this uncle. Don't you know that this uncle is a cadre of the Beast's Pirates? Sip's head is very proud, and he doesn't think anyone on this island can beat him. From the beginning to the end, he didn't even lift his head, and he didn't even see clearly who was standing in front of him. The challenge is just beginning. Hearing this, Lock Dahl responded, and the voice could clearly hear, 860, and was extremely silent. Ever since he started making the list, others have ignored and ridiculed him one after another, for a proud person like him. He was disgusted beyond belief. Now, hearing such a tone again, the anger disappeared in an instant. Little devil, you want me to turn you into a human being and expose you to the sun for a century? Or turn you into ashes in an instant? Lock Dahl's cold voice came to his ears. Gee, Graham, Lock Dahl, you are Sand Croc, Lock Dahl. Sip's head, on the verge of losing his temper, what kind of idiot would dare to talk to him like that? In the next moment, a panic-filled voice came from Sip's head. Sip's head, looking up to see an angry Lock Dahl staring at him fiercely. The words fell. The atmosphere in the audience has become very depressing. Grunt. Sip's head swallowed involuntarily, and looked at Lock Dahl standing not far in front of him with eyes full of horror. I'm from the Beast's Pirates. For the sake of the 4 emperors, please let me go. 7 warlords of the sea, but none of them are easy to mess with. What's more, Lock Dahl is from the Divine Palace. The moment Sip's head saw that it was Lock Dahl. Advertisement just lost the desire to fight. When my boss, Jack, was facing Mo Xiaobai, he was pressed and rubbed on the ground by Mo Xiaobai unilaterally. Now he fears the Divine Palace from the bottom of his heart. At the same time, he cursed secretly in his heart. Why was he so unlucky? After finally escaping from Mo Xiaobai's clutches, the boy fell into another abyss again. Kaido, Beast's Pirates, what does it have to do with me? Language fall, Sha Lan. A sandstorm appeared in the hands of Clock Dahl. Afterwards, Lock Dahl did not hesitate at all, and threw it towards Sip's head. In the next moment, when the sandstorm broke away from Lock Dahl's palm, the speed became faster and faster. Not only that, but the scale of the sandstorm is also rapidly increasing. The dust in the air and the gravel and sand on the ground were swept up. Soon, this sandstorm became enough to overturn the existence of a town. What is that? Sandstorm. It's a sandstorm. Why is there a sandstorm here? The original residents of this island in the distance were stunned. This is an island. How could there be a sandstorm that can only be seen in the desert? But what they don't know yet is that it's not a natural sight. It is the fruit ability of Sand Crocodile, Lock Dahl. Clocodar, please let me go. I surrender. I am willing to surrender. I have a secret here, and I'll trade it for my life. Sip's head turned pale when he saw the sandstorm rushing towards him at extreme speed. He wanted to run, but found that his legs were out of his control. Move. Move. Sip's head screamed heart-piercingly. However, all this is of no use. Advertisement. Sip's head opened his mouth to shout, and only got him a mouthful of sand. Lock Darfin didn't pay any attention to the secret that Sip's head said, and directly engulfed him with the sandstorm. Hey, old Shaw, it doesn't take such a fight to solve a little Luoluo. Hawkeye, who arrived later, looked at the yellow sand in front of him and shook his head helplessly. Old Shaw, I want to remind you, the Lord respects and obeys others with virtue. If you always do things like this. If you don't care about the consequences and don't compromise on the means, I will see how you will bear the punishment of the Lord. While speaking, Hawkeye stole a pity look from Lock Dahl. He seemed to be able to imagine. Lock Dahl accepted the punishment look. Brother Hawkeye, wait, you can't complain to the Lord about this. I promise something like this will never happen again. Seeing Hawkeye walking towards the town indifferently, Lock Dahl followed closely behind, and kept yelling behind him. If this is not seen by others, that person will definitely be surprised. Tangtangshin Shichibukai admitted his mistake like a child? Is there any mistake? This is still the ruthless sand crocodile. Soon, Hawkeye and the two walked to the center of the small island. The town is not big, but it has everything you need. It has everything it should have. Walking on the street, Eagle Eye saw a tavern, so he pushed the door and walked in. The tavern is the fastest way to get all kinds of news. Although the taverns are mixed with fish and dragons, and the news that comes out is sometimes a little bit less accurate, but taverns are still one of the important ways for people to inquire about news. The reason why Hawkeye was able to climb to number 14 on the gold list in such a short period of time was that the main source of news about the list was in the tavern. As soon as he stepped into the tavern, a mellow and rich aroma of wine came to his face, filling the air of the big tavern. Even those who are not strong enough to drink 2.6, if they enter this place, they will be infected by the aroma of the wine, and they can't help drinking a few cups. For inquiring news in taverns, Hawkeye is already familiar with the way. The first time he entered the tavern, he walked towards the bar. Go to the front desk. Located at the front desk is a tall mature woman, wearing a big red shirt, showing her graceful body completely. It is to ignite the rhythm of the small universe in everyone's heart. However, Hawkeye has no desire for these at all. Flipping through it, a large stack of berry is placed on the bar. The conspiracy behind Chapter 100 advertisement. I don't know, what do you two honored guests want to drink? The woman at the front desk looked at Hawkeye with beautiful eyes, and asked with a chuckle. The expression was calm, and there was no expression of surprise. We need to know that on the sailing gold list, the positions of the 60th to 80th entrants on the list. Since it was just a transaction, Hawkeye didn't beat around the bush. He directly said what he wanted to know. The specific whereabouts of the 20 people is indeed difficult for our small shop to fully grasp. Terribly sorry. The front desk lady pushes the stack of berry back to Hawkeye. Seeing this, Hawkeye didn't hesitate to put away berry and walk towards the door. Along the way, no one said a word. Brother Hawkeye, it's a bit weird. That bar lady, when she saw us, she refused us straight away, not even talking about the price. Locked Doll was an intelligence agency, and Baroque Studio itself is an intelligence agency. Old Shaw, I have an ominous premonition, as if someone is staring at us. Walking on the road, Hawkeye also spoke. Brother Hawkeye, indeed I feel the same way. 24. The people in the tavern just now were a little weird. Although we are no longer 7 warlords of the sea, we shouldn't be ignored directly. And the front desk of the tavern, seeing how calm we are, as someone on the edge of underground intelligence, how could he not recognize us? Her expression is so calm, as if she knew that we would appear there. Locked Doll's analysis is absolutely right. Indeed, shortly after they left, the scene in the tavern changed. Billy. The phone bug rang. Captain and Hawkeye have just left. They are looking for the 60th to 80th on the list. A mature woman in professional attire appeared in people's field of vision. If you look carefully, you will find that this woman is the front desk of the tavern just now. Now she has taken off the big red dress, advertisement. The whole person looks like a different person in an instant. The only thing that hasn't changed is that her figure is still so hot, which makes people feel hot when they see it. Continue to monitor, don't act rashly. A deep man's voice came from the other end of the phone bug. Commander Khalifa and Hawkeye have already left the island. At this time, a man wearing a black suit came quickly, and the front desk of the bar could be reported. Continue to stare at him, you must pay attention, and you must not be noticed by them. Khalifa instructed this subordinate. At this moment, those people who were originally sitting in the bar changed suddenly, and they were all wearing black suits. This kind of dress, except for the CP agency accepted by the world government, will not be anyone else. The two original Shichibukai go together, it's really tricky. We must find a way to separate the two of them and break them down individually. Otherwise, we really have no chance of successfully arresting them. Especially Hawkeye, the world's #1 swordsman is really tricky, and Zhang Taowen seems to have been defeated by him. But soon, your good days will come to an end. Standing on the opposite side of the world government, you guys are really bold and reckless. Khalifa tapped his fingers on the table rhythmically, thoughts wandering in his mind. Hawkeye actually betrayed the world government for the Divine Palace. The world government is the most terrifying force in the nautical world, although it is ranked second in the nautical gold list. However, it is obvious that there is a big problem with this ranking. A behemoth like world government wants you to die. No matter where you are in the new world, there will be no room for survival. Become the enemy of the world government, they don't want to die. At this time, a group of CP officials were also talking about it, in their eyes, being appointed as the 7 warlords of the sea. Being reused by the world government, the future is bright. Being a certified pirate is the dream of many pirates. But they are lucky, not only have they given up this identity, but also face the full pursuit of the world government. Go to sea. Crash. Ripples rippled on the surface of the sea, spreading in all directions. Gradually, advertisement Hawkeye drove the coffin boat farther and farther away from the coast. Locked Doll sat behind him. The boat could only accommodate 1 person, but it seemed a bit crowded with 2 people. Of course, Locke's sitting posture is more in line with his identity, and it looks a little funny. At the same time, some inconspicuous corner of the coast. A middle-aged man wearing a black suit and a top hat, with sharp eyes at the moment, watched Hawkeye and the others leave. Sir Khalifa. The man in black who watched Hawkeye just now has returned to the tavern. Did you find anything? Chief Khalifa said in a flat tone after taking a sip of the cocktail. They've left, or it was monitored. Do you really think that the world government has nothing to do? The CP9 organization members led by CP9 Kadri Khalifa arranged this deserted island into a fairly prosperous scene. Obviously impossible, how could the world government miss the opportunity to continue to grow itself? And they have been lying in ambush here for almost half a month. Leaving? That's fine, anyway, I've stayed in this damn place long enough. But now this phenomenon is all just an illusion arranged by the world government CP organization. P.S. Please subscribe, favorite, flowers and comments, thank you all. Being targeted by the world government, can the rewards issued by the navigation gold list be yours? Obviously, it is impossible. The man in black replied respectfully, the purpose is for those passing pirates. Khalifa, a gleam of light flashed in his eyes, this small island was originally just a deserted island. No abnormalities were found, it's just that they didn't plan to include those on the list under the command of the world government, but all those on the list are under control. The third more, once they are lucky enough to persist to the end, they will show their ferocious fangs. In the personal combat power ranking list, the world government side has only a pitiful few people on the list, basically belonging to the bottom of the list. Chapter 101B******** D. What did you do? Advertisement. Still watching? After the Hawkeyes left, they discovered that someone was quietly telling them to follow behind them. It's just that, for such a small role, they didn't take it seriously. Brother Hawkeye, along the way, I always feel that there's a pair of eyes watching us from some corner, but I can't tell where exactly. K-Lock Doll is also a little depressed, this feeling has been with him this time, making him very uncomfortable. Old Shaw, congratulations. Here, K-Lock Doll say this. Hawkeye turned to look at him and said, Brother Hawkeye, no matter what you say, I'm getting bored to death. After going through life and death, the distance between the two has narrowed a lot. Occasionally, these two people who seemed impossible to joke, even joked. Lao Shaw, this is the next stage of knowledge and sexuality. Warning of surrounding dangers, Hawkeye smiled and said. Speaking of danger, Brother Hawkeye, do you feel it? It seems that there is a force that intentionally or unintentionally affects the ranking of the Voyage Gold List. K. Lockadar looked up at the bronze monument in the void and said. Lock Doll still has a keen sense of danger. Seeing that on the Nautical Gold List, the names of several members of the Divine Palace disappeared from the list. Personal Combat Power Rankings, 83rd place, Kaku, Affiliated Forces, World Government. Personal Power Rankings, 88th place, Kaku, Affiliated Forces, World Government. These two rankings turned out to be Alabasta's Minister of Defense, Eagle, Bell and Wolf, Gaga. Obviously, they were defeated by others at almost the same time, and it was all done by the world government. After these pieces of information were connected together, K-Lock Doll was startled, and a feeling of uneasiness flooded into his heart. Isn't it? Could it be that the world government is on the top of the sniping list, the people from the Divine Palace? K-Lock Doll couldn't believe it. If this was the case, a large-scale battle would definitely break out between the two sides soon. I don't know who you are, what do you mean by stopping the old man? Fujitora was walking on the road, but found a group of people in front of him blocking his way. Fujitora smiled, our officer would like to ask you to go back and sit down. At this time, a man in a black suit and with two horn-like hairstyles said to Li Hu. Advertisement. This person is another member of CP9, Bluno. Old man, there are other things to do, thank you sir for your kindness. As the words fell, Fujitora ignored them and walked straight past them. However, this seemingly simple passing by made Bluno feel timid. Damn. A blind man. He ignores our existence. Seeing that Fujitora ignored them at all, Bluno's subordinates were a little annoyed, and grabbed Fujitora. However, just when he was about to touch Fujitora's sleeve, he suddenly felt an irresistible gravitational force. Set his body completely on the ground. B***********, D, what did you do? The middle-aged man shouted angrily at Yinhu. The old man doesn't want to take action against you, so please clear your minds and figure out the current situation. Hearing this, Fujitora stopped in his tracks, but he didn't turn around, and said in a cold tone. A-hole. We are from the world government, I tell you, you are blatantly provoking the world government. When had he been ignored like this? At this time, the man in the suit showed pain on his face, but he still threatened Li Hu with his words. Whatever you say, I have already given you a chance, if you are still aggressive, then no wonder the old man. As soon as the words fell, Fujitora released the gravity attached to the man and walked towards the center of the town. Fujitora did this on purpose, and the moment the people from the world government appeared, Fujitora had already sensed their presence. Now, the reason why he lifted the gravity of that person was to give that group of people a chance to provoke him. The current Fujitora is not the Fujitora of a few years ago. Although he does not advocate force, it does not mean that he hates force. I don't know if it was under the influence of Mo Xiaobai or because of something else. In Fujitora now, those who watch world government are becoming less and less fond of it. However, he upholds the saying that he learns from famous teachers. Therefore, he was waiting for the world government personnel to take the lead in attacking him. Only in this way, he became famous as a teacher and solved them without any burden. The man in the suit was about to make a move. It was Bluno who stopped him. Advertisement, sir, why don't you let me teach him a lesson? The man in the suit was a little puzzled, although he learned from various sources that Fujitora is very strong. But in the meeting just now, he didn't feel that Fujitora had any strong aura. I don't know, and I don't know why, but I can be sure that if you shot Fujitora just now, a few of us will definitely not be able to go back. When Bluno said this, his voice trembled, and his body trembled uncontrollably at this moment. This is a manifestation of fear from the heart. The moment Fujitora passed by me just now, I actually had the illusion of being stared at by a wild beast. While talking, Bluno kept wiping the cold sweat dripping from his forehead. Go on, follow his whereabouts, but remember, don't be discovered by him. The masked man repeatedly ordered to that subordinate. P.S. Please subscribe, favorite, flowers and comments, thank you all. He didn't dare to risk his life, too many people had died recently. I'm so interested in this divine palace now, sir. Qian Zhao. There's news from Bluno that they found out where Fujitora is. But it was precisely because of this that he had lingering fears. In a dark room, after the words fell, a man wearing a white suit and a top hat appeared in the field of vision. Before the words fell, the man disappeared from everyone's sight. Divine Palace, let me play with you, the fourth change, discussion. Interesting. Which one of them was not a sensational big pirate? Personal combat power ranking, 9th place. Fujitora, Yishao, affiliated force, Divine Palace. Well, got it, let's put the information on the table. CP Intelligence Headquarters. After a while, the masked man gave the safest order. Order. Report the location of Fujitora to the headquarters, and request the headquarters to quickly send personnel to come to support. Fujitora. Smile, but Divine Palace, one of the top 10 listies. Chapter 102 Start the War, Big Outbreak Advertisement. Old Shah. Send this information to the Lord as soon as possible. Hawkeye also felt that the situation was getting more and more unbelievable now. In just 3 days, the list of Divine Palace Heavenly Kingdom, except for a few of their core combat power. None of the other members were spared, and they all failed the rankings. Moreover, it happens that there are less than 24 hours left in the countdown. It is doomed that those who fell out of the rankings in Divine Palace have no chance to be on the rankings again. Brother Hawkeye, the time is too short, I don't even have time to find my target. This time, that's it. I want to convey this information to the Lord first. As for the name of Jinwood expulsion, I will talk about it at a later time. Also, you have to remember, the one above you is either Marine Admiral or Pirate 4 Emperors. It will not be so easy to improve the ranking. You'd better not provoke them. Lock Dahl said a lot to Hawkeye before leaving. The current situation makes him a little worried. Although he is very relieved of Hawkeye's combat power, what if Marine directly dispatches the Admiral headquarters? Or even dispatch 2 admirals directly? Such a result Lock Dahl he never imagined. I don't want to think too much about it, just let it be. 750 Red Line, Summit, Holy Land Marijoy, World Government Headquarters. Pengdu City, here is the pinnacle of world power and an important place where the 5 elders meet. Of course, the one the 5 elders will ultimately obey is the Lord I Am who lives among the flowers. Most of the people on the Voyage Gold List, the Divine Palace, have been cleared out. There are only a few main cadres left in the Divine Palace. According to the information from Naval Headquarters, we have fully grasped the whereabouts of these people. This matter is not bad, Mr. I Am may feel a little happier. However, the combat power of these few people who are still on the list is very strong, and it is estimated that they are at least at the Commodore level. It's hard to kill them all without investing a certain amount of combat power. Clock Dar, one of the original Shichibukai, was already doomed, but Hawkeye appeared in time to save him. It turned out that these 2 traitors were allowed to escape. This is undoubtedly a slap in the face of the world government. However, at this moment all their whereabouts are exposed to our sight. CEFD, do they want to occupy the list? They can't do it without our permission. Today, the combat power of the world government and the Marine headquarters will launch a full-scale attack on them. Advertisement, only by letting them all drop out of the Nautical Gold List, our cleaning mission this time can be considered complete. Humph. Soon, these traitors will soon usher in a moment of despair. Marine Headquarters Admiral, Kizaru, Bluzolino has arrived at the designated combat area. Marine Headquarters Admiral, Akainu, Sakazuki has arrived at the designated combat area. New World, on an unknown island. Damn, Brother Hawkeye, the situation is not good. Lokadar looked solemn, and said to Hawkeye who was standing back to back with him. While speaking, Lokadar still didn't forget to wave the poisonous hook in his hand to resist the Marine soldiers attacking them. He had just left and wanted to go to Nine Snakes Island, but he found that the island they were on had been surrounded by Marine warships. It is obviously unrealistic to want to leave by force. Hawkeye didn't speak, and waved the black knife in his hand, Yi. Jingling. At this time, they were besieged by Marine. And the one who is fighting Hawkeye right now is none other than Marine Headquarters Admiral, Kizaru, Peluzolino. Dracul Mahawk, you are indeed the most powerful swordsman in the world. The fighting power is really terrifying. Kizaru, with a wretched look, looked at Hawkeye who was fighting him and said, its yin and yang strange appearance really looks like a beating. A flash of gold light flashed and distanced itself from Hawkeye. At this moment, moving, the cloak of justice behind him buzzed in the wind, giving off a very powerful feeling. And as one of the Admiral of Headquarters, at the same time, it is also the level of the world's top combat power, which can give people a huge sense of oppression virtually. He is Marine Admiral, a terrifying existence that has made countless pirates frightened. Hawkeye, surrender, you won't be able to escape today. Kizaru looked at Hawkeye, who had a calm expression in the distance, and said, "Kizaru, you're trying to catch me, aren't you?" Hawkeye's tone was flat, showing no trace of fear, even if the other party was Marine Admiral. "It's really embarrassing. If we don't arrest you, we won't be able to deal with the higher-ups. Who told you to betray the world government and join the Divine Palace?" Kizaru said he was helpless. "Then let's see if you can catch me." Advertisement. Hawkeye let out a cold snort, and then instantly disappeared in place. "Hawkeye, you are still so icy. If you really disagree with me, you will do it. You are so scary." Kizaru muttered and said, "Boom," sensing Hawkeye swiping a knife. And Kizaru greeted him with the Tianyi Yunjian tightly in his hand. Boom. The two swung their knives several times almost at the same time, making crisp crashing sounds. A wave of air suddenly spread out, and the two of them retreated several meters one after another. "Perusalino, I didn't expect your sword skills to be at the level of a great swordsman." Hawkeye was also a little surprised. Everyone has been attracted by Kizaru's fruit ability. But it ignores Kizaru's swordsmanship. Hey, it's so scary. The old man just played a few times like this, and you saw through him." Kizaru, with a teasing face, faced Hawkeye's level. He still had that cynical look. As if facing Hawkeye, he didn't feel any pressure. "Yada mirror laser. Call out." The next moment, Kizaru put his hands on his chest. Followed by a blast of laser beams. Boom, boom. There were deafening explosions. Facing so many laser beams, Hawkeye didn't flinch. Yi-point dazzling crazy slash. He quickly swung the black knife Yi in his hand, and green slashes came out quickly and violently. The slash and the laser collided continuously at the speed of light, and the sound of explosions resounded through the sky. The whole earth seemed to be collapsing at this moment. Chapter 103. None of you can leave. Advertisement. Boom. A muffled sound. I saw K-Lock Doll's figure flying upside down tens of meters. On the way, I don't know how many trees I hit. You think, can you be careless? K-Lock Doll. Following the sound, Akainu, Sakazuki slowly appeared in their field of vision. Akainu. It's Akainu. I didn't expect that even he came. If this doesn't solve us, the world government will not stop. When he saw someone coming, his eagle eyes froze. Unexpectedly, Marine has no lower limit. In order to arrest them, 2 Marine admirals were dispatched directly. Damn, it's already like this. Why don't you just send all 3 over? You really think highly of us. After a gust of wind and sand, the figure of K-Lock appeared in front of their eyes. Akainu saw that Lock Doll suffered his blow without any injuries, and his eyes became even more fierce. Evil things will be completely destroyed. Call out. Call out. Unlike Kizaru, Akainu speaks significantly less. As the words fell, Akainu did not hesitate at all, and made a big move towards K-Lock Dar. Meteor Volcano. This move has a large attack range, and it can be regarded as a common move by Lot. The next moment, Akainu's arms instantly turned into scorching magma, elementalized him, and launched countless giant magma fists into the air. Immediately afterwards, the magma fist, like a meteor shower, quickly attacked the place where K-Lock Dar was. In an instant, the position where K-Lock Dar was located instantly turned into a sea of lava and flames. Old Shaw. Seeing this, Hawkeye shouted angrily. If it is not done well, this matter will really kill many people. In the face of Akainu's range attack, K-Lock Doll's half-baked observation Hawkeye now looks a little pale. K-Lock Doll struggled to stand up from the ruins. Boom. There was another sound, enough to shatter the eardrums, and Hawkeye, just like K-Lockadar before. He was blasted away like a rocket launcher, and in the end, his whole body was smashed down, among the ruins not far from K-Lock Dar. Dracul Mahawk. Advertisement. Now is not the time to let your mind wander. Seeing Hawkeye flying out, there are many Marines present, cheering and jumping for joy. Don't be excited. The most powerful swordsman in the world. So what, he will not be Kizaru Admiral's opponent. Pinch me quickly. Fake. Damn it, it hurts so much. It turns out that all this is true. You can think with your A***. How could Hawkeye be the opponent of Kizaru, Admiral? That man is Marine Admiral Kizaru, the world's top fighter. Hawkeye gripped the black knife tightly. Yi knelt down on one knee, blood gushing out from his mouth. It seems that Kizaru's kick hurt him a lot. The contest between top masters cannot tolerate the slightest distraction. 1 second of distraction may affect the direction of the whole situation. Kizaru and Akainu slowly walked towards Hawkeye and K-Lockadar. The wind blew the robes around them and made a buzzing sound. It's over, nasty pirates. The battle is not over yet, but in Akainu's eyes, he has announced the result of this battle. Damn it, Red Dog, after a few rounds of gold rankings, you still haven't sunk. It's really annoying. Seeing Akainu's condescending appearance, K-Lock Doll was very upset, and at this time he still did not forget to ridicule Akainu. It just so happened that Lock Doll's words just hit the sore spot of the sleepy dog. Nautical Goldwood expulsion name. Akainu has received several rounds of rewards, and Liming is quite high in the eyes of outsiders. He can even be called the top leader. However, his reward is unbearable to look at. It can't be said that it's all tasteless, but compared to his ranking, those rewards can be called rubbish. You wanna die? Akainu had a fierce look on his face. He punched Clockadar with 10 punches. Red Dog, don't think I'm afraid of you, Lockdar. Armament Hockey had wrapped his fists, and Akainu met the punch together. However, after a few seconds, Clockeater's figure burst out again. He felt the heat coming from his fist, as if his arm was about to melt. It has to be admitted that Akainu's actual combat effectiveness is really strong. Advertisement. Asking for flowers. It can't go on like this. Kay Lockadar, looking at Hawkeye who was fighting fiercely with Kizaru, felt a little uneasy in his heart. True, the longer it drags on, the worse off it is for them. Hey, Hawkeye, you saved me once, this time I will treat it as if I gave it back to you. Kay Lockdal made a decisive decision in his heart. It seemed that he wanted to sacrifice himself in exchange for Hawkeye's chance to escape. Erosion reincarnation. Kay Lockdal gave a low snort. The right hand is heavily lined up on the ground. In the next second, the entire ground dried up quickly, and the trees were absorbed by the water at a speed visible to the naked eye until they dried up. The dryness is still gradually spreading to the surroundings, and soon it has spread to the area where the Hawkeyes are fighting. Point 0. Feeling the change of the ground under their feet, Hawkeye and Kizaru had to temporarily stop attacking and distance themselves. Stop dreaming, none of you will be able to leave. Whatever you want to protect, you must do your best to defend. What a crocodile, only in the desert can he display his most fishy combat power. After a while, the place where they were just now began to sink, and the whole ground seemed to be dead, turning into a cracked wasteland. Because, K-Lock's attack will resonate in the desert, thus producing a series of butterfly effects. Until it becomes a desert, Kizaru put on a look of embarrassment. Tell the Lord that I have not disgraced him. P.S. Please subscribe, favor, flowers and comments, thank you all. As a cold-blooded animal like a crocodile, once he has something he wants to protect, he can give his life. Seeing this scene, Hawkeye seemed to understand what K-Lock Doll wanted to do. Brother Hawkeye, the second more, 3, open your mouth and say. Hey, it's so touching, I can't help but want to cry. Originally, the densely wooded island turned into a barren desert in a blink of an eye. But then, the ferocious voice of the garden dog came to the ears of everyone present. Old Shaw, you. Chapter 104 The Momentum of Dominance. Advertisement, Sandstorm. The next moment, a gust of wind rage, and a palpitating sandstorm suddenly appeared in everyone's field of vision. The sandstorm echoes with the islands that have become deserts, and the scope becomes larger and larger. The ore surges, the wind and sand block their vision, between Lockdoll and Hawkeye. The figures of the two disappeared from everyone's sight and disappeared into the wind and sand. Hateful. Akainu cursed secretly, he was helpless in the face of such a huge sandstorm. Perusalino. Akainu yelled at Kizaru. Immediately, a golden light flashed, and Kizaru's figure instantly disappeared in place. The speed of light is obviously incomparable to wind and sand. Kizaru's speed was so fast that the sandstorm couldn't even touch his clothes. Kakuzu. 8-foot Chong Guyu. The yellow, 477, ape, elementalized and flew into the air, fired countless dazzling light bullets towards the sandstorm. Obviously, he wanted to forcibly disperse the sandstorm. Sensing Kizaru's intentions, Akainu was not idle, and also launched an attack towards the sandstorm. Red, yellow the energies of two different elements are intertwined. After a muffled sound, the sandstorm dissipated instantly. In an instant, the sky returned to the clearness it still had. However, the only one still in the field at the moment is K-Lock, and Hawkeye is missing. K-Lock Doll, lying on the ground, panting heavily. His physical strength has been almost exhausted, and now he is like a fish on the chopping board, ready to be slaughtered. B*************. D. Where's Hawkeye? Seeing that Hawkeye had disappeared, Akainu was a little annoyed, and kicked Lock a few meters away. However, there was no look of fear on K-Lockeater's face. There was even a smile on his face. When the sandstorm interfered with their sight, Clock Doll used the sand to push Hawkeye's body 8,000 meters away. However, he himself chose to stay. Facing two Marine admirals, it is obviously unrealistic to want both of them to leave safely. Advertisement: if it is not done well, maybe both of them will explain here. So, K-Lock Doll intends to sacrifice himself. This can be regarded as the life-saving grace before Hawkeye. The edge of the unknown coast, from a distance, a figure lay there. Not long after, the figure stood up tremblingly, and sit on the ground. This person is Hawkeye, Dracul Mahawk. He looked dull and looked at the surrounding environment. Grunt. Quite a while, Hawkeye couldn't help swallowing. His mouth was a little dry. Old Shaw, don't die. Looking back, K-Lock Doll's righteous and awe-inspiring appearance made his eyes sad. I saw a lot of pirate ships docked on the edge of the coast. Hawkeye judged that this small island was not a deserted island. Immediately, he dragged his tired body and walked slowly towards the center of the island. Hey, have you read the news yet? The news just announced by the Marine headquarters. Clock Dar, formerly 7 warlords of the sea, was arrested by Marine headquarters. No way, at this juncture, the world government is trying to make an example to others. If it's true, that would be a pity. If the calculation is correct, this early morning will be the day when the gold list rewards will be distributed. Who says it's not? In the past month, how many people have been on the list and won the reward of the navigation gold list, fighting to the death? But have you found out the ranking of K-Lock Doll? Personal combat power ranking, number 69. K-Lock Dar, affiliated forces, Tianfu Divine Kingdom. What's wrong? Is there a problem? Everyone is also a little puzzled. This ranking does not seem to be a problem. Clock Doll was captured by Marine. Why is it still on the leaderboard? Yeah, but what does that mean? Damn, are you idiots? this means that the person who beat him is ranked above him. Advertisement. In this way, his original ranking has not been replaced. If this is the case. Hearing this, the melon eaters could not help but look up at the empty bronze monument. Open black lens bracket personal power ranking, 2nd place. Monkey D. Garp, affiliated faction, Marine close black lens bracket. Individual power ranking, 8th place. Sengoku, affiliated faction, Marine. Individual combat power ranking, 11th place. Kizaru, Pelusalino, affiliation, Marine. Open black lens bracket individual combat power ranking, 12th place. Akainu, Sakazuki, affiliation, Marine close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket individual combat power ranking, number 13. Aokiji, Kuzan, affiliated faction, Marine close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket personal combat power ranking, number 22. Magellan, affiliation, Marine close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket personal combat power ranking, number 32. Magellan, affiliation, Marine close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket individual combat power ranking, 35th place. Momosagi, Gion, affiliated faction, Marine close black lens bracket. Individual combat power ranking, 41st place. T. Dolphin, added, affiliated forces, Marine. Next, all Marine forces. Yeah, I really didn't expect that the world government can have such means. Who made 1.2 he choose to fight against the world government, he asked for it. Marine won a big victory this time, Dracula Mahawk? The entire HNA gold list, except for the 4 emperors, the Divine Palace, the world government camp, and the Revolutionary Army, the other forces on the list are almost completely wiped out. A lackey of the world government, which one would be a good guy? The third more. Now I want the Divine Palace to rise suddenly, and all the Marines on the Baha'i Airlines gold list will be kicked out. No way. Why did he become so embarrassed? If it wasn't for the black sword behind him, it was too obvious, I almost couldn't recognize him. If the world government camp dominates the list this time, won't they still be the only one in the future? Hello. Look at that disgusting face of celestial dragons. That's right, if Marine doesn't make a move, it's fine. If he makes a move, all the pirates will regret it. Hey, don't add insult to injury. Although pirates are not good people, how can Marine be called a good person? Almost all of Marine Vice Admiral are on the list. Chapter 105 The hunt has just begun. Advertisement. Brother Bai, the situation is not good. Rayleigh looked at the HNA news in his hand. A trace of worry flashed in his eyes. Brother Rayleigh, why can't you sit still? Mo Xiaobai said to Rayleigh with a smile. However, Marine went so far as to directly arrest Clock Dar. It seems that the old man Sengoku directly dispatched a large number of troops to surround them. While speaking, Mo Xiaobai's eyes flashed a stern look that was hard to detect. According to Marine's current actions, do they want to dominate the rankings? Rayleigh seriously flashed a trace of dignity. If the world government really succeeds, then their combat power will be much larger than that of other forces. It's not over yet, isn't there still 20 hours left? There's enough time. The world government actually wants to play, so let's play with them. Mo Xiaobai, are not so active. Yu Luo, the presence of Rayleigh and Empress Hancock felt an invisible force pulling them. This feeling is too long for a second, they can't describe it. They only felt the white light flashing before their eyes, and their heads were dizzy for a while, when they opened their eyes again. 24 Their location is already in the center of a town. Brother Bai, the ability of your space fruit has improved a lot. Rayleigh was a little bit emotional. The last time he experienced Mo Xiaobai's power of space, the distance of his space conversion was only 100 meters away. But now it has reached a distance that even he can't imagine. This speed of growth made him envious. The point is, Mo Xiaobai spends every day, basking in the sun and drinking. I have never seen him practice or anything. It feels like all abilities will naturally grow in his hands. Well, it's not bad, it's a good skill to hurry. Mo Xiaobai said because of the so-called expression. Brother Rayleigh, the hunt has just begun. As the words fell, Mo Xiaobai's figure disappeared from their field of vision. Hancock, we have to hurry up too. Seeing Mo Xiaobai's departure, Rayleigh said to the Empress. Advertisement. Their division of labor this time is also considered clear. Rayleigh and the Empress went to rescue Clock Dar. As for Mo Xiaobai, he is going to sweep the list of those under the world government on the leaderboard. Mo Xiaobai's space skills are almost magical. The Marines were intercepted by Rayleigh before they could send Kelkadar into impel down. Marine branch base. Who's there? A patrolling Marine soldier saw a black shadow flashing by, and immediately exclaimed. However, when he looked in that direction, it was empty, not even a fly let alone a human. Uncle Rayleigh, such a big Marine base, where will Lao Sha be locked up? Empress Hancock is also a little confused. The Marine base has tens of thousands of rooms. Who knows where Clock Dar will be locked up? Boom. A muffled sound. I saw Mo Xiaobai's fist colliding with Kizaru's leg, followed by a burst of colliding airflow. This space seems to be torn apart. Boom. A wave of air spread out suddenly, and Kizaru's feet were directly shaken away. Of course, his legs also suffered the pain. At this moment, Kizaru's complexion changed, and then his whole body was thrown out by a huge force. At the same time, Mo Xiaobai also disappeared in place. The next moment, when Kizaru was still being smashed into the air, he appeared behind Kizaru. Perusalino, where is your confidence? Mo Xiaobai's voice came from behind Kizaru. Shuang Yuan couldn't help but change his face. You were really scary, Mo Xiaobai. This old man really underestimated you. Kizaru couldn't help being puzzled, but at this moment Mo Xiaobai's fist wrapped around Conqueror's Haki had landed on Kizaru's back. Boom! A loud transmission followed, and a yellow light and shadow was seen falling rapidly towards the ground below. Kizaru's whole body fell to the ground, and a wave of wind and waves erupted in the air. The onlookers all involuntarily put their sleeves in front of their eyes. Is it fake? The figure that fell just now belonged to Kizaru Admiral? Is Kizaru Admiral suppressed? Advertisement, how is it possible? That man is Marine Admiral Kizaru, the world's top fighter. But Kizaru was blown away, is it true? All the Marine soldiers present were pale. They couldn't believe that the man who was the strongest in their hearts was suppressed at this moment. Thinking of Mo Xiaobai, they don't know how they provoked such a terrifying existence. When Mo Xiaobai appeared, he attacked Kizaru without saying a word. It was only a few rounds, and Kizaru was suppressed to death by him. What a fighting force that is. Kizaru, don't you show your true skills. If you have always been this group of idlers, you can't blame me if you die here. The aura of Mo Xiaobai's body exploded completely, and the Conqueror's Haki vibrated in the air. At this time, Kizaru felt a sharp pain in his back. His complexion also turned serious, and this Mo Xiaobai became stronger again. Kizaru is very clear that his sparkling fruit has no advantage in front of Mo Xiaobai. Just a few hours after the task of clearing the list, they ushered in Mo Xiaobai's counterattack. In the next moment, Kizaru moves at the speed of light through the orbit formed by the refraction of light. Put your hands together and accumulate a piece of light like a mirror in your hands. Kizaru frowned and froze in place, not daring to take a step forward. He doesn't intend to continue fighting with Mo Xiaobai. Mo Xiaobai brought him a sense of fear of death. His armament Haki, has it been so powerful, is it this way? At this time, Mo Xiaobai gave Kizaru a warning, that is, Mo Xiaobai's armament Haki has already surpassed the world's sayings. He knew very well that even if he risked his life, he couldn't be Mo Xiaobai's opponent. Fourth more. Yada mirror. Kizaru shouted, moreover, I don't intend to reason with them at all. And emit the light beam to refract and bounce back to the surrounding targets, thereby forming a light track. Kizaru's heart was turbulent, he didn't expect Mo Xiaobai's reaction to be so fast. The elementalization ability and speed he is proud of seem a little thin in the eyes of Mo Xiaobai. Please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe. The effect of armament Haki, compared with Mr. Garp, it will not be weaker and it will even be stronger. This is Kizaru's fastest body move. Chapter 106 Your speed is so-so. Advertisement, what's going on? Where is Kizaru Admiral going? Could it be that Kizaru Admiral is afraid that it will affect us and lead Mo Xiaobai away from here? Would you like to fight him again? In the eyes of Marine soldiers, Kizaru's fighting power is unparalleled. It goes without saying that he is powerful, he is naval headquarters, and at the same time, one of the top combat powers in this world. No, I just saw that Kizaru Admiral and Mo Xiaobai got kicked away. Could it be that Kizaru Admiral is releasing water? Well, that must be the case. Kizaru Admiral just likes to play around on weekdays. He must be just warming up right now, so he hasn't unleashed the power of his sparkling fruit in Legendary yet? Endless doubts and shocks lingered in everyone's minds. I said, Kizaru, where are you going? Mo Xiaobai is also a little speechless, this Marine Admiral is too afraid of death. Didn't he just kick them a few times, and he already wanted to escape? Seeing the flash of yellow light, Mo Xiaobai also realized it. Kizaru was planning to run away, however, at the next moment, Kizaru almost had a heart attack. Just as Kizaru was about to turn around, he found that Mo Xiaobai was flying parallel to him. Lie down. Kizaru subconsciously swears. At this time, Kizaru's entire right leg turned into a yellow flashing leg, and he kicked towards Mo Xiaobai beside him fiercely. As for Mo Xiaobai, he seemed to raise his hand calmly. It was the call to kick Kizaru, and he firmly grasped it in his hand. Immediately afterwards, Mo Xiaobai stretched out his right hand and pointed his index finger lightly towards Kizaru's body. A blue laser beam burst out from his index finger in an instant, directly piercing through Kizaru's left arm shoulder. Boom! The next moment, Kizaru endured the pain in his body, his right leg became elemental, and he kicked towards Mo Xiaobai. Seeing this, a smile appeared on the corner of Mo Xiaobai's mouth. When did Kizaru work so hard? Immediately, he also raised his right leg, and the whole leg was elementalized and collided violently with Kizaru's leg. I saw pale blue and yellow light dots lacing in all directions. Advertisement, damn it, how strong is this guy? Kizaru's speed has always been the existence of direct crushing against opponents. But at this moment, his right leg was trembling, and he was at a disadvantage in the strength contest of his legs. Feeling the numbness from his legs, Kizaru couldn't believe it. Mo Xiaobai's combat power is far more terrifying than Kizaru imagined. Go away, old man, Kizaru roared. The old wrinkled face looked a bit wretched. It looked a little hideous at the moment. Ha ha ha, Kizaru, I'm a little surprised by you. Your output of combat power depends entirely on roaring. As the words fell, Mo Xiaobai exerted a little force, and Kizaru's body flew upside down like a cannonball. When it hit a building in the distance, the building was instantly smashed like tofu, and the field collapsed. The endless dust immediately flew in all directions, and Kizaru's entire sound shadow was submerged in it. This is terrible. Looking at the scene in front of them, many Marine soldiers who were watching the battle trembled. Even some of the small ones went limp all over and fell limply on the ground, their eyes widened, full of disbelief. This power doesn't belong in this world. Tell me it's not real, I'm dreaming. The man who used to be the strongest in their eyes had no power to fight back in front of this young man. All Marine soldiers present a person, all with dull expressions. The strength shown by Mo Xiaobai has exceeded their imagination. Mo Xiaobai, I admit that you are very strong, but it is not a wise decision for you to choose to fight against the world government. At this time, Kizaru tried to disturb Mo Xiaobai with words. Ha ha ha, world government, I'd rather be Sheik than be the dog of celestial dragons. Hearing what Kizaru said, Mo Xiaobai laughed, his laughter echoed over the space. Let all the Marine soldiers present feel a sense of fear. Following the sound, Mo Xiaobai rushed towards Kizaru again. The first few attacks were blocked by Kizaru. This time, however, Kizaru was not so lucky. Suddenly, Kizaru felt that there was an inexplicable force all over his body pressing on him. This force squeezes every cell in this body. Advertisement. Kizaru had no choice but to fight, but at this moment, his body couldn't be elementalized. In Kizaru's perspective, Mo Xiaobai's fist zoomed in quickly. Boom. In the next second, Mo Xiaobai's fist wrapped around Conqueror's Haki. A direct encounter with Kizaru's face. In an instant, Kizaru's eyeballs popped out, and his face became distorted under the effect of huge force. With a crisp sound, Kizaru felt his face was crushed by the mountain. A sharp pain rushed into his heart in an instant. Everyone present was stunned and looked ahead in disbelief. What happened to Kizaru Admiral just now? Why did he not respond to Mo Xiaobai's attack? Mo Xiaobai, do you have a magic trick to deceive people's hearts? At this moment, their worldview will be subverted. Fifth change, however, his self-esteem told himself that he couldn't escape. In the face of absolute power suppression, all anger appears so powerful. Of course Kizaru could tell what Mo Xiaobai meant by this. Although he felt very uncomfortable, but what can he do? It is obviously unrealistic for him to slip out of Mo Xiaobai's hands swaggeringly like this. If he wants to escape, he can be sure that no one in this world can keep him. Although sometimes he is unreliable, but now, he really has no intention of running away. Although, Mo Xiaobai's speed is by no means inferior to his own. Escape? In Mo Xiaobai's tone, there was a hint of sarcasm. Please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe, close. But Kizaru also has this confidence. They didn't even know that their mouths were open in shock and their jaws were about to drop to the floor. At least not now. As Marine Admiral, if you abandon yourself as a subordinate, if he escapes alone, what face does he have to continue to be a human being? This is the year that flashed through Kizaru's mind. Perusalino, do you feel that the pain in your body has been gone for a long time? Chapter 107 changes in full view. Advertisement. Mo Xiaobai did not intend to just let Kizaru go. An invisible wave of energy. Mo Xiaobai's figure appeared in front of Kizaru again. Seeing this, Kizaru raised his right leg to meet the attack. Pain came from all over his body, and the momentum of Kizaru's kick was obviously not as strong as before. Boom. The strong light was shining, Kizaru's legs were directly shaken away, and Kizaru was also forced to step back a little, and almost fell to the ground. You seem to be a bit out of control. Mo Xiaobai appeared above Kizaru with a cold snort. The right leg entangled with Conqueror's Haki splits down from the sky, like a mountain axe is used to open a mountain, and it is like a thunderbolt splitting from the sky. The seemingly random kick contained power that not everyone could resist. The terrifying aura changed Kizaru's complexion, and he instinctively bent his right hand to resist. But in the next second, Kizaru realized that he was wrong. Boom. The next breath, Kizaru was smashed down the whole instant. This lower body completely sank into the ground. With an earth-shattering loud noise, the entire island shook, and a large number of buildings collapsed directly. In an instant 837, thick dust instantly covered the main film area. Will Kizaru continue? Mo Xiaobai did not intend to kill him just like this. As he said before, what he wanted was to subvert the rule of the world government. Instead of killing one bit, or wiping out the Marine. As a subordinate, Kizaru's combat power is still very impressive. If you want to kill, then kill. If you want to let me bow to you, stop dreaming. As Marine Admiral, Kizaru certainly has his own pride. It is obviously harder than killing him to make him bend his knees with someone other than the Marshal of the Sea. But it doesn't matter, Mo Xiaobai is not in a hurry for this moment. At the same time, Rayleigh successfully sneaked into the Marine distribution base. Successfully found where K-Lok Dar was being held. It's just that the sand crocodile is dying at this time. His hands and feet are completely useless. Uncle Rayleigh. You don't need to worry about me, I'm already a useless person. Advertisement, I'm really not reconciled. I, the sand crocodile, will have such a day. At this moment, K-Lok Dar's eyes are less aggressive and more sincere. What are you talking about? How could we abandon you? Hawkeye is now in a life and death battle with Akainu. Aren't you going to shout at him? While speaking, Rayleigh carried Locke on his back and walked outside. Uncle Rayleigh, Marine Admiral Kizaru is stationed here, be careful not to let him touch it. Locke Dahl reminded Rayleigh of this. Kizaru was so strong that he wasn't sure who was stronger, Rayleigh or him. Don't worry, Kizaru has no chance to deal with us. Locke Dahl did not understand. Brother Bai is here too. I guess Kizaru has already been rubbed on the ground by him? Rayleigh said with a smile. The speed under his feet accelerated, and the countdown to the gold list was less than 20 hours away. As Rayleigh said, when they walked out of the gate of the base. I have already seen that the yellow ape has a swollen face like a pig's head. Master. I have let you down. Coming to Mo Xiaobai's side, K-Lock Doll's eyes flashed the same look. You did a great job, the next step is to leave it to me. While speaking, Mo Xiaobai took out a bottle of potion with extremely strong breath of life. Uncapped the bottle, and personally fed Lock Doll a drink. This is the fountain of life, as long as you still have a breath, it can heal all the injuries on your body. Seed. Feel a strong breath of life flowing through the body. K-Lock Doll was stunned for a moment, he moved his arms somewhat inconceivably. He unexpectedly discovered that his injuries had completely disappeared. Moreover, the body is full of strength. Thank you, Lord. While speaking, K-Lockadar knelt down on one knee towards Mo Xiaobai. Advertisement. After a while, the ranking on the navigation gold list has changed under the watchful eyes of everyone. Personal combat power ranking, 11th place, Shark Crocodile, Lock Dar, affiliated faction, Divine Palace Tianfu. What the hell, is this sand crocodile on the list again? And this time it's possible to overtake Marine Admiral Kizaru. Is this true or not? Damn, who the hell? Shouldn't Clock Dar be locked up in the marine base right now? Why was Clock Doll rescued in just a few short hours? Moreover, K-Lockadar can successfully defeat Kizaru and seize his original ranking. Kizaru, what the hell are you doing? Akainu couldn't believe it. If Lock Dar had such combat power, he would not have been captured by himself. Call out. The higher-ups of the world government blamed it, which they simply couldn't bear. I saw that Hawkeye held the black knife Yi across his chest. Penetrating the air, attacking towards Akainu. Akainu cursed secretly, now he has no time to procrastinate here. Stretching its lava-like arms, it attacked Hawkeye. At this moment, Green's crescent-shaped slash shot out from where Hawkeye was. If the people of the Divine Palace released all the prisoners who were arrested by them, the consequences would be disastrous. P.S. Please subscribe, favorite, flowers and comments, thank you all. Haha, Akainu, it seems that your marine days of arrogance are coming to an end. Akainu's attack was blocked by him, there was a muffled sound. Hawkeye said, slashing the weapon in his hand, Dog Gnaws Red Lotus. Damn, immediately afterwards, Akainu exerted a little force with both fists, turning his arm into magma, and then turning the magmized arm into the shape of a dog's head. He has to take a marine base to see what's going on. In this regard, Akainu easily avoided. Chapter 108 So Vulnerable. Advertisement, Fujitora, on the other side of the New World smiled. His movements are even more amazing, he single-handedly launched an attack on the G5 base of the Marine Division. Alarm! Alarm! Respond to the first level alert, there are intruders breaking in. An intruder broke in. The G5 base was instantly filled with sirens. Virgo Vice Admiral, someone broke into our base. Oh, got it. At this time, a middle-aged man wearing a plaid coat, sunglasses, and lightning-like corners on both sides of his face stood up in response. He thought that he would go to check the intruder's movements, but instead he walked to the small dining table, picked up a hamburger and read with relish. Smoker, aren't you very diligent? Tell him about the intruder and let him deal with it. Virgo looked indifferent, not at all worried about the intruders breaking into the base. Fujitora smiled, you have a big list, and you even passed it to our marine base single-handedly. It's really like our marine base as a playground. Smoker pulled out the 10 fingers attached to his back and pointed at Fujitora. Your Excellency is Mr. Smoker Vice Admiral known as the White Hunter. Fujitora greeted Smoker politely. Such a humble attitude made Smoker feel dizzy. He had never seen a criminal with such a humble attitude. Smoker Vice Admiral, the person next to Mr. must be the beautiful Miss Tashigi. Although, I am blind, but because of this I can feel the beauty of Ms. Tashigi. While speaking, Fujitora's tight eyes were still trembling slightly. Sure enough, what the man who slaps the smiley face is not wrong at all. The originally tense atmosphere between the two parties eased a lot in an instant. Your Excellency Smoker, this time I don't want to do anything to you, I just want to take my people away. Fujitora said his courtesy first and then his soldiers, and only then did he reveal his reason for coming. Ha ha ha. Are you kidding me? Fujitora, you really think our marine base is an amusement park? Although, Smoker is not willing to go to war with Fujitora, but Fujitora has already shown his intention to come. As a marine, he has to stand up. Oh, Smoker, since your Excellency is like this, then the old man will have to fight with swords. While speaking, Fujitora took a step forward, tapping the ground with the cane and knife in his hand, as if looking for the direction to go. Advertisement. Seeing this, Smoker glanced at the bronze monument above the void. Smoker quickly put on a fighting stance. I don't know when it started, the nautical gold list has become the standard for people to measure a person's combat power. Especially the top 10 on the marine gold list. Personal combat power ranking, 9th place. Fujitora, Yishao, affiliated force, Divine Palace. See this Fujitora ranking, cold sweat dripped from his forehead, and his eyes became incomparably dignified. Facing, although he did not have a head-to-head confrontation with Fujitora. However, Fujitora ranks 9th on the nautical gold list. What's more, after going through this round of cleaning by the world government, they are still standing tall and firmly occupying the seat, which is enough to show the strength of Fujitora's combat effectiveness. Rumble. The next moment, the entire MARINEG-5 base suddenly shook. Virgo, looking at the food on the plate in front of him, jumped a bit. There was a glimmer of darkness in his eyes. Come here, go and see what happened. Virgo's expression turned ugly. What the hell is Smoker doing? Isn't he just an intruder? Why is he making such a big fuss? The Marine soldier felt ashamed when he heard Virgo's simple description of the invaders. That. Virgo Vice Admiral, we have confirmed the identity of the intruder just now. The soldier said cautiously. If you know it, don't bother me, I'm still eating. Virgo, without waiting for the soldier to finish his report, waved him to leave. There was another shock, and Fujitora came slowly from outside the base. At this moment, Fujitora's pace, seemingly slow, however, in Smoker's eyes, it is indeed very fast. The crutch knife tapped the ground, however, something seems to be beating on Smoker's heart. After a while, in Smoker's sight, Fujitora passed Smoker shoulder to shoulder. He wanted to stop it, but found that his body didn't listen at all. Ask for flowers, clatter, clatter, advertisement. Clatter. The sound of the cane knife hitting the ground gradually faded away. When Smoker came back to his senses, he found that his back was already soaked in sweat. At this moment, Smoker couldn't believe it, for such a simple meeting, he was defeated. From beginning to end, I didn't even have the courage to act. Could it be that the top 10 on the goal list are all so terrifying? Stop. Stop. After struggling for a moment, Smoker finally mustered up the courage to shout. As a newly promoted Marine Vice Admiral, he is unwilling and unable to retire. White fist. The next moment, Smoker let out a low snort. His arm turned into smoke, and he punched Fujitora, who was walking away in an instant. Whoosh. 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 In the next second, Fujitora's figure was constantly swaying from side to side, and Smoker, his fist turned into smoke, always passed by his side. Yan Yan's fist was very fast, but after a few back and forth, he didn't even touch Kuohu's sleeve. Your Excellency, are you determined to do something to this old man? Fujitora frowned, clearly displeased that Smoker had attacked him from behind. HMPH, today, I just want to challenge, how strong is the top 10 in the combat power list? At this moment, Smoker has overcome his fear and regained his confidence. However, in the next second, the moment Kuohu drew his sword. Just let him be a man. Gravity knife fell, at the same time as Fujitora's voice fell. Almost at the same time, Smoker felt a force of gravity that he couldn't resist. Click. Click. The place where Smoker was instantly cracked. He looked terrified. He had thought he would not be a match for Fujitora. However, he never thought that he would be so vulnerable in front of Fujitora. Chapter 109 Sweeping the Ranking List Advertisement. Presumptuous. Dracul Mahawk. It's not your turn to point out what happened to Marine. Akainu was a little annoyed, seeing the top of the sailing gold list. Marine personnel disappeared from the gold list one by one. At the same time, they were replaced by strange but familiar names. Divine Palace Heaven. It's them again. Why so fast, why? At this moment, Akainu was extremely annoyed. Red Dog, Kazaru has been defeated, how long do you think you can last? Hawkeye, gripping the black knife, slammed his hands 10,000. Distance from Akainu, immediately there was no trace of stagnation in his movements. The first time he stabilized his figure, he swung a slash towards Akainu. Black knife flash, followed Hawkeye's low voice. Whoosh. Just at this moment of 173, the cold light was fleeting, and wherever Green's crescent-shaped slash passed, a dreadful gap appeared. Damn, it's really hateful. Get out of here, Akainu roared again and again. The arms have turned into hot magma. Dog nibbles red lotus. The scorching magma, a dog's head condensed from magma rushed out, trying to tear off Green's on. Boom. The two forces collided together, and suddenly the violent energy exploded, rolling up a torrent of tornado. Hawkeye, the corner of his mouth curled up, staring at Akainu not far away with a sneer. Red Dog, what did I say just now? Hawkeye sneered. Immediately, Akainu's heart froze, and the anger in his heart surged up uncontrollably. In this match, Akainu felt aggrieved. If Hawkeye fights from a distance, he has no chance of winning at all. With Hawkeye's long-range combat power, it is still unknown whether he can beat him. Advertisement whenever you work very hard to close the distance between the two. Hawkeye will always find a way to distance himself from him again. When there was a little distance between them, Hawkeye would slash towards him. What made him even more uncomfortable was that Hawkeye's slashing power was so powerful. If you are not careful, you will end up with a serious injury. Akainu stared at Hawkeye, gritted his teeth, and really wanted to kill Hawkeye right now, or even rip his body to pieces. However, Hawkeye didn't give him this chance at all. In other words, he himself was unable to create this condition. In terms of single-round combat effectiveness, Hawkeye is indeed inferior to Akainu. However, it is obviously unrealistic for Akainu to want to defeat Hawkeye in a short period of time. Today, it is destined that Akainu and even the entire Marine headquarters will be disgraced. The sky is getting darker, indistinctly, a bright moon looms high above the sky. There is less than an hour left before the announcement of the rewards for the personal combat power leaderboard. Hawkeye, even if you can hold me back, what's the use? I just want to remind you that there is less than an hour to refresh the rewards of the combat power leaderboard. I don't believe that your divine palace can make any waves in this hour. This time, it's our Marine who won. Akainu laughed wildly. In his eyes all this is a foregone conclusion. Red Dog, I really don't know who gave you the confidence. I really want to remind you, let you look up and see the current ranking changes on the Voyage Gold list. Personal Combat Power Rankings, First Place, Mo Xiaobai, Affiliated Forces, Tianfu Divine Kingdom. Individual Combat Power Ranking, 7th Place, Silver Rayleigh, Affiliated Forces, Divine Palace. Personal Combat Power Ranking, 9th Place, Fujitora, Yishao, Affiliated Force, Divine Palace. Personal Combat Power Ranking, 10th Place, Enel, Affiliated Forces, Tianfu Divine Kingdom. Individual Combat Power Ranking, 11th Place, K-Lock Dar, Affiliated Forces, Tianfu Divine Kingdom. Personal Power Rankings, number 14, Dracul Mahawk, Affiliated Forces, Divine Palace. Individual Combat Power Ranking, 19th Place, Marco, Affiliated Forces, Divine Palace. On the other hand, Marine Vice Admiral, which ranks in the middle of the Marine headquarters, fell out of the leaderboard almost instantly. Looking at the entire Nautical Gold list, the only remaining lister on the world government side. Advertisement, Personal Combat Power Rankings, 2nd Place, Monkey D. Garp, Affiliated Forces, Marine Headquarters. Individual Power Ranking, 8th Place, Sengoku, Affiliated Faction, Marine Headquarters Factory. Individual Combat Power Ranking, 12th Place, Akainu, Sakazuki, Affiliated Faction, Marine Headquarters. All of this happened in the blink of an eye. It came too suddenly, let alone Akainu. It's just that even the top executives of the world government didn't expect that in just one day, the Divine Palace could wipe out all the Marine list candidates. How is this possible? How on earth did you do it? Seeing the constantly replaced names on the surface of the bronze monument, Akainu clenched his fists angrily. Red Dog, I told you earlier that our Lord's ability is beyond your imagination. The reason why you stay at the end is that I want you to feel what despair is like at the end. As soon as the words fell, Hawkeye felt unlucky for Haidao Yi and ignored Akainu. His move made Akainu confused. At this time, anger had already covered Akainu's eyes, and the angry Akainu rushed out completely elemental. What are you going to do to me now? Akainu glanced around and saw no one. P.S. Please subscribe, favorite, flowers and comments, thank you all. Under the perception of knowledge and knowledge, no vital signs were found, but Akainu was sure that he heard absolutely right. Who the hell is it? Sneaky, come out 5.5. At this moment, a majestic voice suddenly sounded from behind Akainu. Shua, 4th more. Akainu was startled, turned around quickly, and looked behind him, but he didn't see anyone. You hateful pirates, die to me. Hawkeye, are you looking down on me? Akainu roared hysterically, Red Dog, you are very courageous, you dare to touch my people. The next moment, Yin Quan became a little nervous. However, at this moment, a tall and straight boy with a smile on his face appeared in his field of vision. Who? Red Dog, hasn't your world government been looking for me? I'm right in front of you now. Chapter 110 Everyone is not calm anymore advertisement. Just make you disappear in this world? Or should I keep you and let you continue to live as long as you can? The boy stroked his chin, looking thoughtful. Damn it, what a brat is pretending to be in front of me. Hearing this, Akainu immediately became angry. Just make you disappear in this world? Too arrogant. Akainu never thought that someone would dare to despise him directly. He is Marine Admiral, the highest combat power of Marine, and even the highest combat power in the entire nautical world. As a Marine Admiral, how could Akainu tolerate someone who despises him like this, and would launch an attack without saying a word? Alright. You Red Dog, you have such a hot temper. Mo Xiaobai also shook his head helplessly. He doesn't want to chat with you, don't do it just because you disagree. Lava shock. Boom. Akainu turned into hot and terrifying lava, roaring towards Mo Xiaobai. Feeling that Akainu's blow, many people present were terrified. Too powerful. 24, is this the Marine Admiral? Sure enough, it's outrageously strong, even more terrifying than monsters. With Marine Admiral here, our lives cannot be decided by ourselves. The list seekers who had just been rescued, seeing this scene, suddenly felt like deflated balls, each of them languishing. Oops. Seeing this terrifying attack, everyone present was secretly worried. Everyone's complexion changed drastically. If so, in the face of the frontal attack of the Marine soldiers, they can still resist. But in the face of Admiral, Marine HQ, they were unstoppable. This gap in strength can no longer be fully used to narrow the gap between the two. Is this the power of the top 20 in the combat power list? As expected of being the most powerful Logia Devil Fruit, it's hard to resist. Is that boy really alright? Lord Rayleigh, are we going to help? Hee. Even if I let you go, what effect will it have? What role do you think you could have played in this level of fighting in the past? Don't worry about it, you just need to stay here with peace of mind. Advertisement Rayleigh also didn't want to talk to them, and watched the two people fighting on the field intently. Don't be unhappy, let me tell you this, with that man around, no one can interfere. Seeing this, the rescued pirates were immediately discouraged. I thought I could do my part, it's meaningless to kill you directly, I'll let you feel the feeling of hanging on the edge of life and death. As for whether you can survive, if you can swim. Mo Xiaobai had a whim again, and at the moment before Akainu came, he raised his hand and flicked forward. Boom. Immediately, a terrifying force rushed out and exploded directly. Facing the force, Akainu found himself powerless to resist. Ah! Akainu only had time to scream, and the whole person disappeared in the blink of an eye. Whoosh! What's going on here? Is this the ability of the Bartholomew Kuma meatball fruit? No, Bartholomew Kuma is not dead. How could there be a second meatball fruit? At this moment, those on the list who had just escaped from birth were all a little confused. They think they can say that they are knowledgeable and talented, but their knowledge of devil fruit's abilities can be called an encyclopedia. Before that, there were various ability fruit rankings, and it was impossible for them to mistake the ability of a devil fruit. This is the ability of space, the ability to make any object transfer space. Just then, Rayleigh spoke to them. Although they are not people from the Divine Palace now, it is certain that they are not destined to be people from the world government. Let them know more about Mo Xiaobai now, maybe this will be the best way to subdue them. Everyone is willing to follow in the footsteps of the strong. Obviously, Mo Xiaobai is the strong one. At this time, a ray of light appeared above the bronze monument. Akainu's name on the stele was obviously replaced by Mo Xiaobai. Personal power ranking, 20th place. Mo Xiaobai, affiliation, Divine Palace. What's going on here? Why can Mo Xiaobai occupy 2 rankings? Seeing this scene, everyone in the entire nautical world is not calm. Marine headquarters, Akainu, the yellow apes are defeated. How strong is this Mo Xiaobai? Is there a gap between us and him? Advertisement, aren't we already on the same level as him? Akainu, needless to say about the combat power of Kizaru. He naturally knew exactly what level they had reached. However, they were all defeated by Mo Xiaobai's subordinates. On the ranking list of the entire Sailing Gold list, there are only 3 people left on the righteous side. Marshal Sengoku, seeing this scene, looked solemn. It can be seen that their plan to clean up the rankings this time has completely failed. Bring them all back. The next step is only to cause unnecessary casualties. Seeing that the situation was over, Sengoku had to issue an order to withdraw. Akainu, don't die. See the name that has disappeared on the bronze monument. Sengoku's eyes flashed 140 solemnly. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. On the beach of an unknown island. A man who approved the cloak of justice fainted on the beach, seemingly motionless and desperate. He even forgot when he fainted. His body kept sinking. Akainu couldn't remember how much he choked. He struggled hard, but found that no matter how hard he tried, everything was in vain. The man who was originally standing on the cloud with the world, now looked very embarrassed. Fourth more. P.S. Please subscribe, favorite, flowers and comments, thank you all. There is obviously only one result for him to do so. As a demon fruit power, he is a proper landlubber. It turned out that Mo Xiaobai used the ability of space transformation to directly transform Akainu to the sea 10,000 meters away. Lying quietly on the beach, looking up at the sky. That is Akainu returned to the embrace of the sea smoothly. Let the cold sea water slap on his body. At this moment, the man coughed a few times and turned over with difficulty. Perhaps it was because he deserved his life. When he opened his eyes again, he found that he was sent to this small island by the current. This person is none other than Akainu. Chapter 111 Nautical Gold List, Combat Power Ceiling. Advertisement at this time, no, the incomparably dazzling gold characters slowly appeared on the bronze monument. At this moment, everyone is extremely excited. The countdown to their long-awaited voyage gold list is finally over. Sure enough, at the next moment, a line of gold characters suddenly appeared in everyone's field of vision. Although, people all over the world know what will happen next. However, when the large characters of gold appeared, everyone still felt a little unbelievable. Before everyone could react, this line of gold characters appeared on the monument out of thin air. This made all the people who were concentrating on the bronze monument unable to discover when it appeared. Nautical Gold Ranking Personal Combat Power Ranking List. Personal Combat Power Ranking List. First place. Mo Xiaobai, Affiliated Forces, Tianfu God Kingdom. Reward. Super. Fruit Awakening Potion, 100% Awakened Devil Fruit ability after taking it. Individual Combat Power Ranking. Second place. Garp, Affiliation, Marine Headquarters. Reward. Super Life Potion, after taking it, life will be extended by 20 years. Close Black Lens Bracket. Individual Combat Power List. Third place. Beasts, Kaido, Affiliated Forces, Beasts Pirates. Reward. Super Restoration Potion, recover all injuries instantly after taking it. The Voyage Gold List, with the names of the listees announced one by one, the corresponding rewards were also distributed to each listee in the first place. No, 100% Fruit Awakening Potion. This is too heaven-defying. Who says no? Mo Xiaobai will be the strongest man in the world in the future. Does this still need you to emphasize? You don't follow the news. Back in the Summit War, didn't you see Whitebeard's attitude towards Mo Xiaobai? Let the strongest man in the world kowtow to support his loneliness, doesn't that explain everything? With the end of the personal battle rankings. This crazy world. It also brought a few days of rare tranquility. 3 days later, a piece of news, like a blockbuster, shocked the whole world. The Sailing Gold List and the ranking of the Personal Combat Power List were written in detail in the news. And it analyzed the specific situation of this ranking in detail. People all over the world are aware of the situation of this ranking. As a result, Marine can't help but suffer heavy losses and lose face, so to speak. 7 warlords of the sea completely fell apart and completely disbanded. Advertisement. This caused the entire nautical world to change drastically in an instant. The response given by the world government is that all pirates cannot be trusted. In order to better maintain world peace and everyone is equal, the establishment of 7 warlords of the sea has been cancelled. But, at the same time, Marine released the information of the world conscription. As long as they are willing to join Marine, the world government will directly erase their previous crimes. For the crimes they committed before, all the past is forgotten. As soon as this news came out, all pirate forces from all sides surged up. For those pirate groups that are relatively weak, they are mixed between 4 emperors and Marine, and they are just lingering on their last days. No matter which side can completely destroy them. Now that Marine actually threw out an olive branch, how could they not be moved? In addition, the information reports about the heavenly kingdom of the divine palace that appeared the most among them took up the most space. Among them, a line of distinctive big characters on the head of the stage, people will be the first to see it at a glance. Divine Palace, a kingdom that can only appear in people's imagination from a natural paradise. Ruler. Mo Xiaobai. Fruit ability, Elemental Devil Fruit, Space Devil Fruit. Street. Mariajoy. Crack. Hole. Who made them report it? Divine Palace. Damn Mo Xiaobai. At this moment, the 5 elders gathered together and slapped the sailing news in their hands on the table angrily. Although, as the rulers of the entire world, they don't have to pay attention to the gossip in the newspapers. However, this piece of news went so far as to hype Divine Palace Heaven. This is unacceptable to them. The previous events of the Revolutionary Army are vivid in my mind. Now there is another Divine Palace whose behavior is many times higher than that of the Revolutionary Army. What worries them even more is that the combat power of this Divine Palace is even higher than that of their world government. It's no use getting angry now. Let's find a way to suppress this matter. One of the 5 elders, said the bearded man. HMPH. Let them be high profile for a while, climb high and fall miserably. You don't understand this truth, right? However, there is one point that is only good for us now. At least now, this Mo Xiaobai has surfaced. Advertisement. It's time to use that power. Now, is it too hasty? Hee. Some things can only be used in practice. Almost. We have been silent for too long. Those people seem to have almost forgotten our existence. Meanwhile, Alabasta, Sky Island, De Reese Rosa. All immersed in laughter. This time, in the battle of the nautical gold list, they can be said to have won a complete victory. They are firmly at the top of the list for our host Mo Xiaobai. Even, no one dared to challenge. Alabasta, Royal Palace. Vivi, I used to wonder how strong the Lord is. Quote. Even though, I don't mean to underestimate him, but he still shocked me. The current king of Alabasta, Neferudali Cobra, said to his daughter, Neferudali Vivi. Father, you are not the only one who thinks this way, all of us are like this. The temple. Master, how powerful are you? Jacka, Uncle said, even if we Alabasta's national strength is impossible to move Shangshangsi. But I still feel that the gap between me and you is getting bigger and bigger. However, now he felt that his thought paled with a smile, even a little ridiculous. In these years, I have not dared to let go of my own requirements. Sky Island, De Nuohao. Marine Admiral, for this world, can be described as the ceiling of combat power, but here in Mo Xiaobai. Vivi, clasping her fingers tightly, looked at the bronze monument in the sky and said. Mo Xiaobai, it has already surpassed people's perception of combat power in this world. My heart is full of emotions. 5th change. Enel, looking at the large letters shining on the bronze monument. He has always regarded Mo Xiaobai as the target of catching up. P.S. Please subscribe. Favorite. Flowers and comments, thank you for joining the festival. He once imagined that one day he could compete with Mo Xiaobai. He can no longer be measured by the correct common standards. But once again, this ceiling was raised to a height that even Marine Admiral could not touch. Chapter 112 Fierce Beast. Incoming. Advertisement. New World. Devil's Triangle. A sea area shrouded in mist all year round. A huge ship is moving slowly. It is more appropriate to say that it is a small island rather than a boat. This is exactly one of the original 7 warlords of the sea. Gecko Moria's pirate ship, Thriller Bark. After Moria lost to Luffy, he tasted the taste of complete failure again. Just like when we lost to Kaido. He was a little depressed again. However, it was a blessing in disguise for him to escape the Summit War. It is even lucky to get a place in this personal leaderboard. Personal Combat Power Ranking, number 68. Gecko Moria, rewards skill, Shadow Devour, devours shadow power and recovers from injuries. He. It's true that God will not kill me. For Gecko Moria, Shadow Devour is a magical skill. While Gecko Moria was brimming with excitement. In the sky above the Thriller Bark, a figure suddenly pierced the sky. Boom. Finally, it fell fiercely on the wall of a building, knocking down a lot of stones immediately. Crash. Come, a stranger. Or it would be more appropriate to say that he is a strange creature. I saw that a tall and huge body appeared in the field of vision of everyone. It has the size of a Titan family, and its breath is extremely violent. Eyes are red, brown's fur is messy. There are a pair of horn-like tentacles on the head. Under the reflection of the moonlight, there is a faint black light. There are a pair of wings covering the sky and covering the earth on both sides of the back. The limbs are strong and powerful, and the blood basin has a large mouth and sharp teeth. Drops of saliva dripped on the ground. The ground was corroded by its saliva, making a terrible sound of pie. Pee-pee. Its breath is firmly locked on Gecko Moria. Immediately, Gecko Moria's eyes froze, and he suddenly felt his whole body sank, as if a mountain was pressing on him, and he couldn't breathe. Gecko Moria, my master wants you to submit to her, are you willing? Advertisement. I saw that this creature was talking tongue-twisting words. This surprised Gecko Moria. Who is your master? Although I, Gecko Moria, am not in my prime, I am not able to surrender to any cat or dog. The limbs were pressed hard by the monster, but Gecko Moria also had his pride. How could he easily surrender to others? Besides, he still has the cards to save his life. Roar. You actually despised my master. CECC. While speaking, a drop of saliva fell on Gecko Moria's shoulder. Git. Instantly, Gecko Moria felt a terrifying burning sensation from his shoulder. All I saw was a puff of white smoke from his right shoulder in an instant. Ah, it hurts. Over the excruciating pain, Gecko Moria fought back and got rid of the lion-like creature. Damn it. What the hell are you? Gecko Moria, holding back the pain, asked it. His voice became a little sharper. Roar. There was a palpitating beast roar. In an instant, a gust of wind hit Gecko Moria, instantly letting him swallow all the doubts in his heart. My master is an existence that you cannot touch, and I will give you another chance to answer. If you refuse, you will die. This is a man with a half-lion appearance, his articulation is a little unclear, and he speaks lamely. Snort. Quote. Gecko Moria just wanted to say no. However, before he could speak, the half-lion's sharp fangs had pierced his chest. Gecko Moria, with a dull expression, couldn't believe it. The speed and strength of this disgusting-looking creature in front of him turned out to be so terrifying. Gecko Moria clutched the big hole in his chest, the horror in his heart could not be calmed down for a long time. Poochie. A mouthful of donated blood came out of his mouth directly. Immediately, Gecko Moria fell to his knees with his hands on the ground. Hateful. It's really disgusting. Why are you all so strong? At this moment, Gaze Moria doesn't mention how wrong she is in her heart. At the same time, I was annoyed why I was so weak. Advertisement. Roar. If you can join us, Master will make you stronger. At this time, the half-lion spoke as if he could read his inner thoughts. Can it make me stronger? He. Shadow devoured. Thinking of this, Gecko Moria gave a low snort. I saw that he grabbed the half-lion's shadow and squeezed it into a black ball. Then, he threw the ball to Zuichin in one gulp. In the next second, the original pierced wound on his chest recovered at a speed visible to the naked eye. He. I'm also curious, who has such unique preferences, and actually likes to keep you as a pet? Gecko Moria, with a sinister smile, said. That's right. At this moment, he suddenly realized how important it is to be strong. The monster in front of him, which is neither human nor beast, is so powerful that it makes people frightened. Therefore, Gecko Moria is very curious about what kind of existence its so-called master is. Maybe, he really took advantage of this opportunity to go back to the altar and even climb higher. Congratulations on making a wise decision. The half-lion said expressionlessly. According to the wishes of the master, before the next meeting, I need you to prepare 100 shadows. Immediately, the half-lion continued. Although, the half-lion stuttered and Halazy was still depressed. However, from his tone, it can still be heard that this is the tone of the boss ordering his subordinates. Boom. A loud bang. As the words fell, the half-lion kicked his feet fiercely, and the whole person flew out into the air. It's horrible. Do you look down on me, Moria? Saw his leaving back. Moria was annoyed. When had he been so despised? Even a beast dares to despise me like this. When I see the one behind the scenes and stand firm, let's see how I deal with you. He. Gecko Moria grinned wildly with his mouth wide open. Scatter the bats. Immediately, he waved his hand lightly, and his huge body turned into a shadow bat covering the sky and the sun at this moment, roaring out. This is the ability of the awakened Gecko Moria fruit. He can pin his body into a shadow bat, so as to achieve the purpose of rapid displacement. You can also dodge some attacks by turning into a shadow bat. This is equivalent to a simplified version of elementalization. Chapter 113 Nautical Gold List, Beauty Ranking. Advertisement. As time flows, it has been a month since the closing time of the Nautical Gold Ranking and Combat Power Ranking. One night, a round of bright moon reflects the earth. This vast sea has been covered with a veil of mystery. The bright moon, reflected on the calm sea, looks extraordinarily dazzling. During this month, the light on the bronze monument was dim. This nautical world also ushered in a long-lost tranquility. At this time, suddenly, above the bronze monument, there was a light that people couldn't look directly at, and the starry sky shook violently. This scene can be said to shock the visual nerves of everyone in the world. At this moment, everyone is extremely excited. At this time, it is a sign that the Navigation Gold List is about to release a new list. Their long-awaited Nautical Gold List has finally been unveiled again. What's next on the list? Mo Xiaobai is also a little curious. Soon, the incomparably dazzling gold characters slowly appeared on the bronze monument. Nautical Gold List Beauty Ranking. Immediately afterwards, streaks of gold rays of light on the surface of the steel. flying at extreme speed. Then, before everyone recovered, at a speed visible to the naked eye, the famous official of the first person on the list was outlined. Nautical Gold List Beauty Ranking, 30th place. Shah Lulia Palace, Identity Celestial Dragons. In an instant, the three heavy words Celestial Dragons caught the eyes of everyone in the world. Seeing the appearance of this ranking, those who have been waiting for a long time have shown embarrassment that cannot be concealed on their faces. What the hell? Celestial Dragons. The guy with the bubble hood. Damn it, it's too hasty. As the Sailing Gold List also to give face to Celestial Dragons. Shalulia Palace, as one of the Celestial Dragons, she can still pass, so is it because of this that she was put on the list? The Breathing Hood is also rewarded. Is this a self-regarding nobility and disdain to breathe the same air as ordinary people? What about playing? Regardless of how the onlookers complained. Voyage Gold List Beauty Ranking, the announcement of the ranking is still being refreshed continuously. Advertisement. Nautical Gold List Beauty Ranking, 28th place. Jewelry Pony, who is the captain of the South Blue Pony Pirates, known as the Big Eater. The bonus skill, Age Control, can control the age of others at will, valid for 1 week. Sailing Gold List Beauty Ranking, 27th place. Kami, a mermaid from Mermaid Island. Reward, Advanced Potion 1. Nautical Gold List Beauty Ranking, 26th place. Borchi, Foxy Pirates, Combatant Reward, Advanced Strengthening Potion 1. Holy Land Mariajoy, Revolutionary Army Headquarters. Damn it, what kind of bullshit ranking list, I'm only ranked last. Seeing that his ranking was only at the bottom of the list, Shah Lulia Palace slapped the table angrily. I want to kill all of you humble ants. CPO. Where's the CPO? Give me an order, I want all the people on the list above me to die to me. Shah Lulia Palace was very angry. As the most noble celestial dragons in the world, she couldn't bear her ranking behind those low-level races. Ha ha ha, I really didn't expect that celestial dragons can be on the list, although it is at the bottom to get one. Mo Xiaobai looked at the announcement of the Voyage Gold List Beauty Ranking, and said with a smile. Huh, what's wrong with you Hancock? At this time, Mo Xiaobai noticed that the Empress Hancock's appearance was abnormal, so she asked. My lord, her hatred for celestial dragons is like a flood. Hancock was also once reduced to slavery when he was a child. She will never forget those tragic encounters, and this is her lingering pain. Seeing celestial dragons actually appear on the Nautical Gold List. Hancock's expression suddenly became a little strange. Hancock seemed hesitant to speak, and Mo Xiaobai instantly understood why he had such an expression. Hancock, the past should be in the past, since you don't like it, then we'll go to the Holy Land Mariajoy. I want to see what is different about this celestial dragons. By the way, let me help you vent your anger. Quote. Mo Xiaobai said to Hancock with a smile. While speaking, he stroked Hancock's long black hair with his hand. Seeing this, Hancock didn't show a hint of resistance either. Let this Mo Xiaobai gently touch his cheeks. In front of outsiders, Hancock is as ruthless as an iceberg. Even if others look at him more, she will petrify others at every turn. But here in Mo Xiaobai, she behaved very well behaved, with the attitude of a gentle little woman. Advertisement. Now this kind of hateful, gnashing of teeth is quite interesting. Asking for flowers. However, at this moment, several figures quickly appeared in Mo Xiaobai's perception. Sensing the appearance of these people, Mo Xiaobai's eyes were fixed, and his face was a little dignified. Because these people are the fastest people in history. It is no exaggeration to say that their speed has outstripped Kizaru by a few blocks. Mo Xiaobai was also a little surprised. In this world, there were still some things he didn't know. Call out! Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. Mo Xiaobai slowly stood up from those living bodies that were getting closer. Looking at the direction they rushed. The next moment, a thunder elemental power emerged in his palm. Immediately afterwards, Mo Xiaobai waved his hand, and the power of the thunder element in his palm quickly flew towards them. Squeak cheep. Lu. However, after a few seconds, a smile appeared on the corner of Mo Xiaobai's mouth. Of the 3 life forms, one disappeared in an instant. This also means that one of the 3 people who came towards them has been wiped out by his thunder power. However, when their figures appeared in Mo Xiaobai's field of vision, an unprecedented surprise appeared on Mo Xiaobai's face. Under his knowledge and perception, there are only 2 living bodies. However, it was 3 people who appeared in front of him. Brother Bai, these people are a bit weird. At this time, they felt a figure flash by, and Rayleigh appeared in front of their eyes. They are very strange. I don't know who they are, but I always have a hunch that they are coming for us. Mo Xiaobai stared fixedly at the approaching figure of Fang Yu in front of him. After so many years, he actually developed a feeling that he was being treated as a prey by others. This feeling made him a little uncomfortable. In an instant, the atmosphere on Mo Xiaobai's side became a little tense. All of them observation hockey caught the 3 of them coming towards them. However, they really only perceived 2 life forms. Chapter 114 Conqueror's Collision. Advertisement. Observation hockey is impossible to be wrong. In other words, among the 3 people seen with the naked eye, one of them must have no vital signs. However, no matter what, this has nothing to do with the list announced by the Voyage Gold List. The Nautical Gold List is still publishing the list of those on the list. Nautical Gold List Beauty Ranking, 22nd. Koala, member of the Revolutionary Army. Nautical Gold List Beauty Ranking, 23rd place, Miss. Two Fingers, former member of Pakistan Lock Walker, Thorn Fruit, capable person. Nautical Gold List Beauty Ranking, 24th. Lackey, Shandia, Sandora, female warrior. Haha, brother Hawkeye, you see, my subordinate is also on the list. Seeing Miss. With both hands on the list, Lockdoll was very excited. Hearing this, Hawkeye was speechless for a while. Women's S*X is of no use to him. Compared with other women's rankings, he prefers a ranking of famous knives or something. What a sleepy fish. Seeing that Hawkeye didn't give any response, Kay Lockadar also said helplessly. At this moment, the three people in their perception were suspended above the heads of Mo Xiaobai and others. The world government is doing business, please wait for idlers, and don't gather around. As soon as the unidentified three people said this, the people in the Divine Palace Heavenly Kingdom instantly became dumbfounded. Balbaki, I have invested so much emotion, they are not here to find me. Mo Xiaobai shook his head helplessly, is this considered to be affectionate? Ha ha ha, brother Bai, you have been acting affectionate for a while. Seeing those mysterious people, they ignored Mo Xiaobai at all, and Rayleigh also rubbed his chin and laughed. It turned out that the target of these three people was not Mo Xiaobai and others, but someone else. This made Mo Xiaobai a little unhappy, but at the same time, he was curious about the origin of these people. And he even made himself unable to capture the vital signs. Immediately, Mo Xiaobai stepped forward and blocked the way of those people. I saw that several people were all wearing cloaks that covered their whole bodies. Even Mo Xiaobai couldn't see their faces clearly. However, Mo Xiaobai sensed that they were dangerous under the cloak. It made Mo Xiaobai feel a little palpitation. This feeling, even when he faced Kizaru, Akainu and other marine admirals, he never felt it. Advertisement. Doll. Just as Mo Xiaobai was thinking, there were muffled animal roars from under the cloak. The beast. This made Mo Xiaobai a little puzzled. Immediately afterwards, Mo Xiaobai waved his hand, and a gust of wind blew towards these mysterious people. Buzz. The strong wind blew the mysterious man's robe and buzzed. However, under Mo Xiaobai's high-intensity coercion, they seemed to feel nothing at all. Seeing the wind blow their cloaks. But in the next second, Mo Xiaobai was also shocked by the loud incident. The hand that had been covered with sharp claws covered the cloak that was about to be blown away. Seeing this hand, Mo Xiaobai couldn't calm down for a moment. He was sure it was the hand of a beast. Whoosh! There was a blast of wind. In the next moment, these three mysterious people disappeared from Mo Xiaobai's field of vision. Looking at this speed, Kizaru, who is at full strength, probably does so. The next moment, Mo Bai's knowledge and color perception was instantly covered and gone. Originally there were only 2 life characteristics left, but at this moment it became 3 again. This really surprised Mo Xiaobai. A wave of space energy fluctuations. The figure of Mo Xiaobai stopped in front of them once. Who are you? Mo Xiaobai asked directly. This time, Mo Xiaobai was not as gentle as last time. Conqueror's Haki directly covered these mysterious people. In an instant, the majestic Conqueror's Haki swept madly in all directions, and the invisible Conqueror's Haki completely enveloped these 3 mysterious people. Mo Xiaobai's Conquerors is already the top Conqueror's Haki. It is not impossible to say that he is the strongest Conquerors in the world. Mo Xiaobai's Conquerors can already do substantial damage. At this moment, his Conquerors is squeezing every cell of these 3 mysterious people. However, Mo Xiaobai frowned tightly. Advertisement. I saw 3 mysterious people standing in midair, as if they were not affected at all. This really surprised Mo Xiaobai. However, the next moment, an even more shocking scene appeared. These 3 mysterious men, an invisible Conqueror's Haki, also invaded the body. He got into a fight with Mo Xiaobai's Haki. Suddenly, the sky was covered with dark clouds, and thunder and lightning flashed. The entire sky seemed to be divided into 2 halves at this moment. Boom, boom. The collision of the 2 conquerors caused the whole world to shake. In the end, what happened? Is there an earthquake? At night, such a movement directly awakened countless sleeping people. On the surface of the sea, huge waves rolled, and waves of hundreds of meters high crashed down. After a few seconds, the 2 royal colors disappeared at the same time. Under the confrontation of Conqueror's Haki, the cloaks of the 3 people were also lifted off. 3 pale, bloodless faces also appeared in Mo Xiaobai's vision. Seeing this scene, Mo Xiaobai's eyes froze, and he couldn't calm down for a long time. He was not surprised, the faces of these 3 people were a little weird. Instead, under the base of their necks, they could vaguely see a frightening scar. This point can explain that they are not living people at all, and 4.5 is a dead body that has been spliced together. As this, Gecko Moria's ability. Also in the nautical world, only Gecko Moria can encase shadows in corpses and bring them back to life. Only he can have such means. Roar. The next moment, the 3 of them uttered a heart-pounding beast roar at the same time. Immediately, it swept towards the distance at an extreme speed. They didn't seem to want to tangle with Mo Xiaobai. This made Mo Xiaobai a little confused, as if they were executing a certain order. Chapter 115 Young Maid, I like it. Advertisement. New World, Devil's Triangle. Thriller Bark. When that mysterious orc found Moria, he then slowly drove the pirate ship out of the thick fog area. And came to this piece, although there is no dense fog. But it is a sea area covered by dark clouds and torrential rain all year round. There is also no sunlight here, and their zombie army can still be very active. He. I didn't expect that the corpse sent by the orc was so strong. With 100 shadows installed, none of them exploded. He. My ultimate zombie army, the goal is about to be achieved. Gecko Moria found that this spliced corpse contained more shadows than common zombies. Even they are not afraid of direct sunlight. Whoosh. Roar. At this moment, after a loud beast roar, 3 black figures appeared in front of Gecko Moria in an instant. Oh, come back so soon. Moria turned around slowly, looking at the 3 people in front of her. It turned out that these 24 people were the beginning of his ultimate zombie army. And these 3 corpses were officially sent by the mysterious orc for his experiments. However, the next moment, Moonlight Mariah's entire face became extremely annoyed. When he checked the memories of these 3 people, he found the figure of Mo Xiaobai. Damn it. The scene of Mo Xiaobai confronting his 3 zombie subordinates was instantly read by him. Fortunately, I didn't give them a counterattack order, otherwise it would be exposed if it wasn't true. Gecko Moria still has some heart palpitations for Mo Xiaobai. The top 3 list, this is not something ordinary people can do. It is still in the development stage. If Mo Xiaobai finds out, it may affect the plan of the person behind it, and he may not be able to eat it by then. Thinking about this, Moria secretly decided that she would never let them go out for a stroll unless it was absolutely necessary. My lord, what was that thing just now? When Mo Xiaobai came back, they couldn't wait to ask him. Oh, that kid Gecko Moria must be restless, but he came up with something interesting. Advertisement. Mo Xiaobai said with a smile. Although, the 3 dead bodies did not know where they came from, but Mo Xiaobai still saw the connection between them and Gecko Moria. However, Sui Bai didn't take this matter too seriously. Just like that time flies. Half a month has passed. This night, on the bronze monument, there was a light that people couldn't look directly at, and the starry sky shook violently. The long-awaited beauty ranking has finally ushered in the announcement of its new round of rankings. This scene can be described as a great event in the entire nautical world. Compared with the previous disputes, this ranking of beautiful women can be said to be a good medicine to mediate the battle. People who eat melons can't help feasting their eyes, and they can talk about the dojo without burden. Nautical Gold List Beauty Ranking. Nautical Gold List Beauty Ranking, 19th place. Baby 5, former maid and killer of the Don Quixote family, wife of Lao Kai of the 8 Treasures Navy. Nautical Gold List Beauty Ranking, 18th place. Kaya, the daughter of a wealthy family in Xiluobu village. Nautical Gold List Beauty Ranking, 17th place. Albita, slippery fruit, ability user. Wow, young maid, I like it. Hey. Think about it, she is the maid and killer of the Don Quixote family. If you think your neck is hard enough, I won't stop you. The 8 Treasures Navy is a pirate group with more than 1,000 people. The leader of the Green Pepper family, the Green Pepper of the Cone, is the great pirate in Legendary, although he has retired now. But you have to try his hard work, I don't think he will be stingy. Quote. I just said that casually. Don't take it seriously. Actually, I think Albita is pretty good. How smooth is the skin of slippery fruit, I really want to touch it. Well, I think, you must think your head is strong enough. Albita, you are now the second in command of Buggy Express Company, and all your employees are pirates. The preliminary estimate is that there are tens of thousands of people. If the team battle leaderboard is announced at such a time in the evening, I think when Buggy Express Company will definitely be on the list. No, what you said is true. Is that Buggy the clown? He's turned over now. Advertisement. That's right. The Blackbeard pirates are making a big fuss about Impel Down. It just so happens that Buggy took advantage of the chaos to escape. Unexpectedly, in just a few years, Buggy has grown the team to such an extent. Master, you are also very curious about this list. Seeing Mo Xiaobai's fascinated appearance, Empress Hancock walked to his side and said. Men have no resistance to beautiful women. I'm just full of blood. Understand this, it's normal. Seeing Hancock's appearance, Mo Xiaobai said with a smile. I'm ignoring you. The Empress mumbled her mouth, pretending to be angry. If there were other people from Nine Snake Island present, they would all be surprised. Their aloof queen can act like a baby. Moreover, it was still facing a man. Ha. Seeing the appearance of the Empress, Mo Xiaobai couldn't help but burst out laughing. Cut. Don't brag, I've been here with you for a long time, and I haven't seen what it looks like outside. 047, Shin Duoli, I will have enough money soon, and I can create more zombie armies, to establish our main country. Said to the female zombie with short yellow hair and many seams on her body in front of her. Could you please stop walking in front of me all the time? Boom. Hoback has sharp, vampire-like teeth. Laughing crazily. It is conceivable that he is absolutely beautiful in front of him. A fat man with a huge mouth, a very pointed chin and nose, and an ugly appearance. Holy Land Mariajoy, in a luxurious castle. This time, I'm not bragging. My cooperation with Gecko Moria is getting better and better, and the resurrection of the zombie army is just around the corner. Fourth more. Although, this woman is a zombie, but even so, she can't hide her graceful appearance. Shin Duoli, you still like to pour cold water so much. Hey, freedom. Are you sure you can be free? None of this troubles me at all. Shin Duoli poured a basin of cold water on Huobakei's head.